Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No. Always live. Always real. Always unpredictable.
You with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I'm in.
Tori just won't let it go.
No. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, April 9th. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Jeff, Tori, Brandon, and I'm Sam. Let's get started. Well, new details right now in the college admissions scandal. Actress Lori Loughlin and her husband are facing a minimum of 2 years in prison. That's according to TMZ. They were reportedly offered a plea deal for allegedly paying $500,000 to pass their daughters off as athletic recruits at USC. But that plea deal from federal prosecutors came with a minimum of 2 years in prison. And check out this new photo of Felicity's husband, actor William H. Macy. This is the first photo since his wife announced she will plead guilty in the college scandal. He was photographed in an LA parking garage before he got on his motorcycle and took off. Meantime, we are also learning that Felicity could serve time in prison if federal prosecutors get their way. She could be facing 4 to 10 months behind bars. Here's the difference, Tori, and I want to hear from you because you are our legal eagle. I'm already rooting for Felicity Huffman because of that statement where she took accountability and she is embarrassed and she wants to be part of the solution. Do you think if others follow suit that we will all root for them, or do you not think that some are even going to follow suit?
I think you're absolutely right. That was the way I would have gone. However, that's Felicity Huffman. You have to know Lori Loughlin has always played the wholesome person. She doesn't have any other role to play, even when she's signing autographs in a weird dichotomy of her smiling.
I think that will hurt her. Do you not?
I completely agree because I don't think she knows how to be that person that is guilty of something. Felicity Huffman can. So that's what worries me.
I think Aunt Becky has something up her sleeve, honestly. There's no way you can say that your yoga and your faith is going to get you through this. There's not a downward dog out there that can scam the legal system. But I just see this as the rich scamming the system to continue to be rich, and the judge needs to throw the book at them.
Do you think the judge should throw the book at them?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because wherever they set the bar for this is going to set the bar for everybody. Just because Felicity Huffman apologized doesn't mean she shouldn't get away. Lori Loughlin should do jail time. I don't think she's going to do any jail time. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think she will.
Agreed.
But breaking the law is breaking the law. Whether you paid $15,000 or $500,000, they both did the same thing. And if you're going to set the bar and send Lori Loughlin to jail, you better start eyeballing some college coaches who pay, Nike pays whoever to get their kid into school. They better be serving jail time too.
Yeah, and with Lori, it's still alleged. You know, we've gotten the guilty plea from Felicity, but not Lori yet. So we have to wait and see.
Right. And just so you know, on Netflix, her otherhood, Felicity Huffman, her otherhood was with Angela Bassett, Patricia Arquette. That has been shelved. It was a series coming out, but her Central Park 5 called When They See Us will be on Netflix. So Netflix is sort of tiptoeing in and out with her.
Yeah.
We'll see
if she does the time and she comes out a better person and continues to take accountability, I'm talking about Felicity Huffman here. Good on her.
We love a comeback.
Yeah, exactly. We have to give a big DBL shout out, speaking of comebacks, to Virginia. They won the men's NCAA championship last night against Texas Tech. Sorry, Jeff, 85-77. It was an incredible game that went to overtime, and it's a true story of redemption. Last year, Virginia was the first team ever to lose in the first round as a #1 seed to a 16th seed team, but now look at them. Now, I know this is a touchy subject for you because you were about to win the bracket last night, but your team lost. But what an incredible game.
It was I like the way she said that.
I know. My team didn't lose, my bracket lost.
Yeah, your bracket lost, but what an incredible game.
And I had 2 others that also lost, so I lost 3 times altogether. So, yeah, but this one I went to the end. It was a great game. It went to overtime. Me having, like, the money involved in it, I was that much more into it. Had I not, it wasn't, but that's what makes sports awesome.
It was really great.
Yeah, my bracket was busted a long time ago, but being the son of, my dad was a football coach at Virginia. My uncle played there, played football, and my sister played women's basketball there as well. So, you know, wahoo wah, that's what they say there. I'm a Virginia hater, but you know what? Congrats, you beat me in the
Thanks,
pool.
buddy. You know, I had Virginia winning it all last year, and I'm like, they choke all the time. Yeah. I'm not going to have them going, and look at them. What a redemption story.
What a redemption story. We all love a redemption story. Well, congrats to you, Virginia. Big news today on the release of Robert Mueller's report. Kelly Schubert has that news at the moment.
I do, Sam. Right now, Attorney General William Barr is testifying before Congress for the first time since the Mueller report was finished. During the hearing, Barr said the process of redacting Mueller's report is going well and that he expects to release the report within the next week. Things that would be redacted include grand jury information, information that would reveal intelligence sources and methods, parts of the report that could interfere with ongoing prosecution, and information that implicates the privacy of, quote, peripheral players. So, Sam, it's a waiting game for now, but I'll update you as soon as it's released.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think we are going to see it. I think we'll see it probably late April. It's going to be very redacted.
Are we going to learn anything?
I think we will. I think we're going to find things. Remember, obstruction of justice is still somewhat up in the air. But Democrats, if they keep the pressure on, if they want, they can subpoena Mueller himself. So remember, they can keep subpoenaing and putting on the pressure. So we'll wait and see.
We will have to wait and see. You will remember this next viral video. It was on this day 2 years ago when a Kentucky doctor was violently dragged off a United Airlines flight. The flight was overbooked, and he was asked to deplane, but he refused because he felt he was being discriminated against. And now that man is speaking out for the first time. This is Dr. Dow, who was originally from Vietnam. He was on his way to open a clinic for U.S. veterans when all of this happened. Here's what he says about that day.
I just cried.
You can hear you screaming in pain.
I don't know, I just cried. The most important thing is the accident turned out the positive way. Airline business willing to change policy.
You forgiven?
Yes.
An incredible, incredible person. The doctor and United Airlines reached an undisclosed settlement over the incident. However, the amount is not public. Also, United changed their policy as a result of the incident and said in a statement that, quote, the changes we have implemented since that incident better serve our customers and further empower our employees. I mean, Jeff, you've always been one to call out the airlines. I mean, in this case, this is like the worst case of escalation and not de-escalation.
Right.
This poor guy.
And I guess United handled it all wrong. When the story first broke and United gave their side of the story that he was being disrespectful and he wouldn't listen, I'm like, why didn't this guy just get up and leave the plane? If someone told me get up and people came with guns on a plane, I'd get off the plane. Now they're eating their words and saying that didn't happen. So now it's different. I guess it worked out the way it was supposed to, but it's, I don't know. I like it anytime anyone sticks it to the airlines. I'm glad it didn't have to come to this.
You know why they tried to do that? Because they tried to smear his name in the court of public opinion.
To protect their name.
Exactly. You wanted the public to be like, well, you got what you deserve, but at the end, he got what he deserved.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but I don't know. To me, this is so much more serious because, he was in the plane. They said, you have to deplane. He said, no, I'm doing this U.S. veterans. I have to be there. He didn't
First of all, there's a language barrier.
English, exactly.
Yes.
So they get him off. They knock him unconscious. Okay, he's concussed. He loses teeth in this process, dragging him off violent. He has had trauma. He cries all the time. He used to be a runner. He can't run. So I don't want us just thinking, oh, this guy got dragged off. This guy got assaulted by law enforcement. Yep. And I just have to say, I'm so glad now United will no longer have law enforcement come onto the plane to take someone off. They'll use airport security or elsewhere. So I think it's great that he sees a difference.
I agree. I agree. And what a selfless human being to actually say, hey, in so many words, I'm glad this happened to me because now there's policy changes.
Selfless.
I know, very selfless. All right, moving on. What do you do if you see someone you love about to make a big mistake? Well, that's a question a lot of us face at some point. This is Lauren Janai. She's the co-founder of the very popular fitness program called CrossFit. She sold her shares in the company for a reported $20 million, and now she's planning on marrying a man who is currently in jail on murder charges. That's according to Page 6. Lauren reconnected with her former high school classmate, who you see here, on Facebook. The two fell in love. He was then arrested on first-degree murder charges in Florida and is currently locked up awaiting trial. Lauren tells Page 6 she's hoping to get married this summer and says that a prenup feels a little inappropriate. Many on social media believe she's making a huge mistake. So, of course, this has us asking, do you tell a friend or a family member if you believe, Jeff, they're making a huge mistake?
Yeah, but if this was my friend and they continue to do this, I wouldn't be friends with them anymore. And that's what you have to do. You have to cut ties. This lady, I mean, whatever. She's an idiot. I'm sorry.
Well,
that's
what if she believes in her man and she's standing by her man?
A guy in jail for murder?
I don't believe he's convicted yet.
He's been arrested.
He's in
jail for murder, and you don't want to have a prenup and you still want to get married when that guy's going to spend the rest of his life in jail and you're going to split that money with him?
He's not convicted yet.
He's in jail.
But at the end of the day,
Johnny Cochran going to come back and defend him?
At the end of the day, Jeff, we can't tell her how to feel about this, man. This is a grown.
Yes, you can.
This is a grown woman.
If that was my sister, I would be so furious.
You can be. You can be.
I have 20 million reasons why this is insane. 20 million reasons.
I understand that.
Insane.
But you're talking to another grown person. She's a grown woman. She started or she co-founded CrossFit. She's not a dummy. She made 20 million for a reason. If she's in love, she's in love.
What if she does not believe in prenups?
That's crazy. To me, this is all around crazy. The whole idea
Believe
is crazy.
me, if it was my sister,
yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking at it through that's my family member. Yeah. That's why I'm getting.
But I also know that there's been many people who've stood by their loved ones when craps hit the fan, so to speak, and they go to somebody has gone to jail and they wait it out. Not saying that's the right or the wrong thing to do, but that could also be looked at as, in my opinion, as, hey, if my husband somehow got locked up and I believed in him, I would stand by him.
But you're making two bad judgment calls. One, you're not doing a prenup, and two, you're interested in a guy being arrested for murder. I don't.
They met before that. People think that they met while he was in jail.
They were high school, and then they got back together.
But they fell in love before this all happened. So it's not like they fell in love while he was locked behind bars.
I agree with you. I just think it's a questionable choice of a man. I just worry for this.
Even though someone's not convicted yet, you say that. This is someone that's not convicted yet. We're forgetting that.
But we don't know the circumstances. We don't know the circumstances.
Because you know what how I'm going to.
But they have enough evidence to arrest the person.
All right. They do have enough evidence to arrest him. Yes, you're right about that.
Good luck.
All right, DBL is live. We'll bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up, our co-host, Jeff Schroeder's wife, Jordan, finds the hottest spring fashions for everybody. You'll want to see this before you go shopping. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. If you were Felicity Huffman's daughter, could you forgive her for that college admissions scandal? We're going to share your comments live next.
DBL Nation, Kelly Schubert with the DBL Digital team here. I'm tracking all the trending and breaking stories. But for now, I think we're going to go to the desk. Let's see what's going on. Hey, Tori, what's going on?
Well, they are. If that was my family, I'd be a queen.
What's happening?
Same, but it's important to have different opinions. So I was just playing
Kimberly Matu said, could there have been a part of the doctor's settlement, this is Dr. Dow with United Airlines, that he needs to speak about the incident in a positive way or say the incident resulted in a positive? So here's the deal. When you sign the gag order, which he signed, I don't ever hear that you have to make it a positive, but I do think you can say, I can't speak about the incident. So he can't give details.
He just seems like a positive guy, man.
He now helps out Hurricane Harvey victims with solar panels.
I think
this guy is a saint.
I think we're dealing with such a sincere individual, gag order or not. I think what we just saw in that interview was sincere.
Yeah. Would you ever, in any situation, when people came on the plane with guns and said, get off the plane, would there any situation where you wouldn't move and be dragged off like that?
If you had to leave Sophie?
Maybe if I was in a foreign country, I don't know.
You wouldn't leave? That's 100% I would leave if I was in a foreign country.
I don't know if there was well, here's what he said, because I think it's important to provide context.
Yes.
He said if they explained to him why they were asking him to leave, because he said they never explained to him they were overbooked. They never, according to him, they never explained to him we need to remove you. They just started removing him. He claims he would have cooperated if someone came over to him and explained what was happening. So I think he was in like a fight or flight type of. That's what he claims.
No, he claims, and I don't kind of believe that
if
because they always.
If someone came to me with guns and said, "Hey, ma'am, we're overbooked. You got to go." Of course, I would get up and go. I'd be mad, of course, but I would get up and go.
But then you're going to get something in return. Like you obviously have a mistake here.
First of all, you shouldn't be overbooking flights when people paid money and then
pick a lottery for who goes.
Exactly. But according to him, it wasn't explained to him properly. They were mean. They were hostile. Nobody was nice. Nobody was kind.
And they knocked him out right away. So when he said he only remembers being told to get up, and then he opens his eyes, and a trauma team is with him in the hospital. Yeah. So if you notice, he's out of it when they're dragging him.
True.
And they're like, "Oh my God!" You can hear the passengers are like screaming.
I'm not trying to defend the airlines
of course
here,
not.
but they always go, "Hey, we were booked. We will offer a $500 voucher."
But he may not have heard that on the loudspeaker. Because usually they do that on the loudspeaker, and then someone comes and personally will go to the lottery person.
Yeah. So, even if they're overbooked, you can't bring people with guns on to take someone off, so their flight gets there on time. Whoever's outside is the one that has the bad luck.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. It's probably pretty awkward at Felicity Huffman's house these days. She pled guilty yesterday to charges stemming from the college admission scandal. Felicity seems remorseful, issuing a statement that said, quote, "In my misguided and profoundly wrong way, I have betrayed my daughter." So DBL Nation, we want to know. We want to hear from you. If you were Felicity Huffman's daughter, would you be able to forgive your mom? How would you go about that? Let us know.
All right, let's get to these comments. Tammy from Facebook says they're all millionaires. They're going to be fine. I'm sure they can afford forgiveness too. Wow. See, that's why we need to throw the book at them, because they feel as though if you can walk around as Lori Loughlin and be like, oh, my yoga and my faith is going to get me through it. That means you know something that we don't know.
Or she's just really in a bubble.
Olivia Jade should be pissed off at her and the Massimo guy, because $500K, the father, $500K, you could have invested in my business. I already had a deal with Sephora. I have millions of YouTube subscribers.
She didn't want to go to college.
As in terms of Felicity Huffman, $15K, I get what you were doing.
No, that's still a problem.
Doing,
she
Mom.
cheated. That's still a problem. But I like that Felicity acknowledged it.
Yeah.
All right, Sabrina from Facebook says, I would have a hard time forgiving anyone who did not believe in my ability to make my own way. Even your own mother? That's tough. You know, I get what you're saying, and I get what you're saying. As a parent, I would do anything for my children, anything. And if I fell into a mistake like this, I would own up to it and use it as a life lesson to teach my kids that I'm sorry, and it all came from love. I'm not condoning what they did in any way, but I see where they're coming from, in a sense.
David from Facebook says, I would definitely forgive my parents, even if they made a mess of my college admissions. They still gave me life and were trying to look out for me. David, I can very sincerely agree with you. I'm learning right now, as I'm going through some things, to accept mistakes and own up to mistakes, and that's a huge deal. Everybody makes mistakes. And as Jeff said, this wasn't a violent mistake. This wasn't I know it was malicious, but they were doing it in the name of love. I think I would absolutely 100% forgive.
Yeah. And Bran from Facebook says, I don't know if I could forgive my parents. These kids will forever be associated with this. I hope that they'll forgive their parents. I know I would forgive my parents in the blink of an eye. I just know I would. I know my parents always have my best interests, even if they had a lapse in judgment. And this is a big lapse in judgment. I'm not condoning what the parents did. But I agree with Jeff. I think you said it perfectly. If they can somehow, like Felicity Huffman has already done, if she's owned up to it, wants to be part of the solution, serves her time, I think that's a beautiful example of how you pick yourself up. You could possibly teach your kids a thing or two depending on how you handle this situation. All right, thank you for writing in, you guys. Let's get to Raquel. 2 stars from an 80s classic just confirmed a sequel is in the works. Ooh, Raquel, share the details.
Well, Sam, it's official. A second installment of Coming to America is in production right now, with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall coming back together again. And we have your very first look. Well, kind of. Famed costume designer Ruth E. Carter just posted pictures with the stars, and they're holding an Oscar she won for Black Panther. The original Coming to America was nominated for Best Costume Design back in 1988, and it looks like they're hoping to win this time. The sequel is set to be released next year.
Yes! Wow. We are all so excited.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a classic. I just hope they don't ruin it. Like, it's such a great classic.
But if they're all involved, don't you think that, and it's been enough time, I feel like it's perfect.
I just think the writer has to be involved. The original, you've got to have the same tone, or else it's totally a remake and it's going to fail. I can't wait for this.
I can't wait. We're all excited. Okay, the expectations are high.
Yeah, they are.
Coming up on DBL, lots of affordable new spring fashions, but which ones will look best on you? Jeff's wife, Jordan, is taking you shopping to find the best looks for every kind of body. That's coming up next.
So we're getting a lot of people writing in. Stacy Sorber says, I served my time in jail and my parents forgive me. And I think I'm learning about forgiveness, but more importantly, I'm learning about opening up to mistakes. I think I always sort of skated by, and I think I'm owning up to a lot of things because I think integrity is, that's what integrity is. So I'm learning that too. So if I can own up to mistakes, I think you have to, what is it? You can't cast stones in a glass house. Do I have the glass house though? Houses shouldn't throw stones? That's it. You shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house.
That's not the same, but that's the idea.
That's the idea of it. Okay, so the glass will break and the rock will go through.
And the stones, I don't know.
They don't know. We don't know why there are stones involved. We're going to figure out a little bit more about that. Coming to America was great, says Naomi. And finally, Stacey, it's so good to see you on there. Tori could have, any reasonable lawyer would tell her to get a prenup, even if she doesn't believe in it, just saying. Yeah, I think that woman, on a scale of 1 to 10 on crazy, the woman, the CrossFit woman, trying to marry the other guy in jail for $20 million, it's at an 11. What movie? Huh? It's at an 11, huh? Okay, well, John ruined it, and I appreciate it because it means a lot that he got it right. John, right on. I love that movie. I love that movie. Hey, how about you guys write in your favorite line from Spinal Tap? Mine's obviously it goes to an 11. See you soon.
And it tastes like a restaurant.
Welcome back to DBL. My wife Jordan has been very open about how hard it is to find clothes that fit her body correctly after having our second child, Layton.
And Jordan looks gorgeous, of course, at any weight. But we wanted to pamper her, so we sent her to Denver Darling Boutique here in Denver to find some fun spring styles that flatter her in every body type. Check it out.
Hey, Abby, I'm so happy you're here. I need your help. I've been living in these yoga pants, and I want to look cute for spring, and I want to look cute for date nights. Get me out of my yoga stuff.
All right, I've got the perfect stuff for you. Okay, this is the first look. I love it. I picked this because you were looking for something for all body types and ages, and
to hide my stomach area because I have a little pooch because I had the baby.
And polka dots are so back for spring.
It hides everything, and I also love that it covers my legs too,
beautiful.
And I can wear it with wedges, and the pockets are my jam.
Here's your second look. I think this is a really great, like, updated athleisure, like, great update to your leggings.
I love it because it's comfortable. I feel like I can move in it with the boys. I can wear my tennis shoes with it. I feel like I could dress it up, and you know, I've told you this bottom area really bothers me, and I don't feel self-conscious in it.
Well, and don't you think it'd be great for the plane? Like, you could just throw on your tennis shoes, or you could dress it up, maybe with a leather jacket.
Okay.
Try this one on.
Oh, I love leather
Maybe
jackets.
just throw it over your shoulders. Layering for spring is huge.
Yes, because the weather here in Denver, it's hot and then it's cold, but this would be a great date night outfit for me.
It just adds another element and then dresses it up.
I love it. Thank you, Abby. I feel pretty.
What do you think of this look?
I love it because I always go with navy blue, black, neutral colors, and this actually is a pop of color.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun, like, bright dress that's good for a cocktail party, and a nice, like, shift that's good for, like, all kinds of body types, especially a new mom.
Yes, and it's not, I like that it's loose here, and it's not super hugging around here or up top. It feels good.
This is a great dress for women of all ages that might, like, be uncomfortable with any kind of body issues.
You know I'll be back.
See you soon.
Bye.
Oh, I love your wife.
She's the best.
And I want new moms to just realize, though, it took 10 months to put the weight on. So I feel like a lot of moms feel like that they automatically need to be like in post body.
Right away.
No, or pre-body, weight. No, it's not fair.
No, and
she
looks
incredible.
in 7 months now. So now she's really just has the energy now to get back in the gym because it's hard. Even when you have a little one, it's hard to get in the gym or get things taken care of. So she's doing what she needs to do, and she looks great. And
does it flawlessly, too.
Yeah, great
We
job.
love you, Jordan. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
some big movie news. The new Joker trailer is here, plus Avengers Endgame is breaking records. But bad news for GameStop. Could they be going under? That's all next in The Jump Off. I'm Abby and welcome to The Jump Off. I'm here to bring you all the latest news in gaming, tech, and nerd culture. So let's get started right now. We have our very first look at the new Joker movie starring Joaquin Phoenix. The movie is expected to show us how Batman's biggest rival became evil. The internet just can't get enough of this new trailer. It's been trending high on YouTube all week. The movie comes out in October, and while it's not your usual superhero film, I can't wait to see what Joaquin Phoenix does with the role. And speaking of superheroes, Avengers Endgame basically broke the internet. There were so many people trying to buy pre-sale tickets when they went on sale, many websites crashed, like AMC, Fandango, Regal Cinemas, and Atom Tickets. They all reported having issues. Avengers Endgame broke pre-sale records in just 6 hours. If you're lucky enough to get a ticket, Avengers Endgame hits theaters April 26th. And is GameStop going under? It's one of the biggest video game retailers, but it just reported its worst annual performance in decades. This could be because of downloadable games. People just don't need to go into an actual store anymore. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I go to Amazon rather than checking out 10 different stores. So I don't blame you. That's it for the Jump Off. As always, I'll be here every week with the latest in gaming, tech, and nerd culture news. I'll see you next time. I didn't do any waving.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. What do we have, Tori?
They're all about Jordan. BH Brady one says, I love the last dress Jordan had on. Very retro looking.
Very Jordan, too.
Was that the one that's the shift? In the white, she looked darling.
Yep.
Kyle Baxter says, Jordan looks lovely. She does. Tammy Gibson said, that last dress Jordan had on was awesome. I hope she does more fashion segments. She's great at it.
And because we are a live show, I think it's important to really quickly just break this news. This just in, now that Lori and her husband have turned down the plea deal, because they have turned it down, that's breaking, they are facing a new charge of money laundering.
Ooh. Yeah. So when you turn that down,
so
they had
the prosecutor was playing nice and then said, because you're not going to play nice, I'm going to slap you with this.
Bingo.
Yikes. All right, we will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.
Hey guys, Kelly Schubert with the DBL Digital team here. I am pulling up your comments. We want to talk more about that Jordan segment. I would like to see her in more segments as well. I love when Jordan's around here. She brings good energy. She's got a good personality. I just love hanging out with Jordan, Jeff. He's all right, but Jordan's really cool, right, Tori? We like Jeff, but we love Jordan. Oh.
One big brother.
Right? Oh no! Ouch! That was a burn. But I do love seeing all the different fashions, all of that. Let's see. Oh, Kimberly actually asked. I'm actually posting an Instagram story about this right now. Jeff had a new seat for the 11:30 show, which was kind of fun. Kimberly says, "Do you think Jeff feels weird being at the end spot? He's usually fully behind the table." I was actually wondering the same thing. If the cameras were different for him and if the prompters were a different vibe. Let's see. Any reasonable lawyer would tell her to get a prenup if she doesn't believe in it. Just saying. I totally agree with this. We're talking about the CrossFit founder here. I think this story is very weird. I'm wondering if it's not going to turn out to be fully true, and that's why we are reporting it as a report, because it seems a little fishy that this would be the case, but I guess to each their own. But if she was my friend, I would tell her, girl, you got to find someone new. Let's see. Elizabeth says it's a good day. Jeff is on the panel early, and Jordan is doing a segment. It turned out to be a good day after all. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Elizabeth. Thank you. Coming to America was great. Anyone remember that part? I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies. John, do you even know what the movie is? John, we're going to have to watch Coming to America.
I know what it is.
You know of it, but you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I've got that song. Bye, guys.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like that?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, April 9th. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al, and I am Sam. Let's get started. New details right now in the college admissions scandal. Actress Lori Loughlin and her husband are facing a minimum of 2 years in prison. That's according to TMZ. They were reportedly offered a plea deal for allegedly paying $500,000 to pass their daughters off as athletic recruits at USC. But that plea deal from federal prosecutors came with a minimum of a 2-year sentence in prison. And check out this new photo of Felicity's husband, actor William H. Macy. This is the first photo since his wife announced she will plead guilty in the college scandal. He was photographed in an LA parking garage before he got on his motorcycle and took off. Meantime, we're also learning that Felicity could serve time in prison if federal prosecutors get their way. She could be facing 4 to 10 months behind bars. And this just in, hot off the press, because we are a live show here. It looks like Lori and her husband have turned down that plea deal. And because of that, they are now facing a new charge, an additional charge of money laundering.
Ooh.
Erica,
yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. I think we all agreed that Felicity Huffman did the right thing, because you clearly have to, at some point, take accountability. You could do that now and try to mitigate your damages, or you can do it later. In a very small demonstration of this, I remember being in like the 4th grade, and my brother's 3 years younger than me. We broke a door. I told my dad right away, I broke the door. It's my fault. My brother said, somebody else did it. I didn't get grounded. He got grounded for 2 weeks, and he got a little swatting. And I always think about that.
Very
just
euphemistic.
Take responsibility.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true, Eric. And I immediately then had respect for you for owning up. Just hearing that story, it was like, wow, it's the same thing with Felicity Huffman. I immediately had respect for her for acknowledging it and saying, I'm going to face this time. I'm going to be part of the solution. It doesn't look like we're going to see that from Lori Loughlin, and that is disappointing. And I'm not rooting for her like I am with Felicity Huffman.
And I think it's all about your personality, Sam. You look at a young Erica, acts like Erica that's still young today. Got out of that one. But no, honestly, that was in your DNA early on. And it's not a slight against your brother. He's an awesome human being as well. But some people are just like, I'm going to own up. I don't think I had that in me at that age. I would have lied and been like, some guy came. But, and I think we're seeing those two kind of personality types, whether we're talking about a door or a college admission scandal, we're seeing how those are playing out. Some people are like, they're going to fight this to the end and probably face a worse demise. Then people are just like, I did it, mea culpa. Let's move on.
And Jeff, money laundering can face up to 20 years in prison. And the reason why money laundering, if some of you are wondering, is because a lot of that money, the $500,000, was funneled through this fake charity. So what do you think is going to happen now?
I don't know why. I just don't think she's going to do jail time.
You really
I think
don't?
these are a lot of big numbers. I
disagree with you. I think they're going to get the book thrown at them.
I don't think so, because they're going to set a bar here. If they set a bar and send her to jail, guess what? There's a lot of people that do a lot of shady things to get their quote-unquote kid into school, whether it's donating a library or doing this or that. And the NCAA better watch out, too, because if you're sending people to jail, coaches are going to start going to jail. Because if you think kids aren't getting paid from other companies to go to certain schools, you're wrong. If they get caught, they should go to jail,
There's already parents in jail. These are parents of color who are put in jail because they used a different zip code to make sure that their child can get into a better public school. And they're sitting in jail. So why did they have to sit in jail when all they did was change a zip code, which I know
because they don't have
many.
money. And that's why Jeff is responding like that.
I know.
Because we've been shown time and time again, if you have money, correct, Erica, you can get out.
Yes, but I still think that you need to know your audience. You're talking about a lot of these people are opting for either a bench trial or they're in front of a judge. That means you're in the academic world. That means a completely different audience than those who are just dealing solely with the money. They're still dealing with academia. That's their zone. So I don't know if the judges are going to be super lenient about this.
We'll have to wait and see. Yeah. We'll have to see. We want to give a big DBL shout out to Virginia. They won the men's NCAA championship last night against Texas Tech, 85-77. It was an incredible game that went to overtime, and it's a true story of redemption. Last year, Virginia was the first team ever to lose in the first round as a #1 seed to a 16th seed team. But now look at them. And Jeff, I know you were rooting for Texas Tech. You would have won your bracket.
Yeah, shout out to Patty. She won. She picked Virginia, so well played.
That's our senior producer.
Our senior producer, Patty. Yep. She was well played. And by the way, do you know I got 47 correct and she got 36, but because she picked the winner, you get those extra points. But yeah, listen, she picked Virginia. I didn't even have Virginia in the Final Four.
Well,
but it was a great
what happened
game.
Last year, who could blame you?
Yeah,
you know?
I picked them to win it last year.
Right.
Wrong way. But it was a great game. If you guys watch it, went into overtime, and the best team won. Great season by Virginia.
Good redemption story, too. We love that.
Going out first and then winning it all.
It was cool. We saw two great championship games on the men and the women's side.
Absolutely. I know. So good. All right, well, big news today on the release of Robert Mueller's report. So let's get to Kelly Schubert. She has the news at the moment. Kelly.
That's right, Sam. Today, Attorney General William Barr testified before Congress for the first time since the Mueller report was finished. During the hearing, Barr said the process of redacting Mueller's report is going well and that he expects to release the report within the next week. Things that would be redacted include grand jury information, information that would reveal intelligence sources and methods, parts of the report that could interfere with ongoing prosecution, and information that implicates the privacy of, quote, peripheral players. So, Sam, it's a waiting game for now, but I'll update you as soon as I know more.
Thank you, Kelly. I know you will, and many people are waiting to see that new report, redactions and all. You will remember this next viral video. It was on this day 2 years ago when a Kentucky doctor was violently dragged off a United Airlines flight. The flight was overbooked, and he was asked to deplane, but he refused because he felt he was being discriminated against. And now that man is speaking out for the first time. This is Dr. Dow, who is originally from Vietnam. He was on his way to open a clinic for U.S. veterans when all of this happened. Here's what he says about that day.
I just cried.
You can hear you screaming in pain.
I don't know, I just cried. The most important thing is the accident turned out the positive way. Airline business willing to change policy.
You forgiven?
Yes.
Wow. The doctor and United Airlines reached an undisclosed settlement over the incident. However, the amount is not public. Also, United changed their policy as a result of the incident, as Dr. Dow just said. They said in a statement, the changes we have implemented since that incident better serve our customers and further empower our employees. I hate that it took this incident, Erica, to do it, considering violently assaulted, broken teeth, broken jaw, unconscious, bleeding.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember and take myself back to that time that this actually happened, because the sentiment was not in support of this man. And I don't know if that was necessarily a bad thing, because for every one of us who complains about the airlines, how all the economy of travel, well, no, I mean, just the logistics of traveling. If we take out the idea, or just the idea that someone didn't follow protocol, and there were a lot of people on that plane who spoke out, they were not happy about the way that things happened, but they weren't happy about how it affected them. So anytime I'm on a plane, I always look around to see, like, who's going to be the person who is going to upset the balance. I'm not saying what this man is right, wrong, indifferent. The airline was right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm taking myself back to 2 years ago, and there wasn't a tremendous amount of empathy.
I'm with Erica on this one. When it first happened, and United's changing their tune, I'm changing my tune as well. But when it first happened, there is no scenario I could possibly think of in my mind where if someone comes with guns on an airline and says, you need to get off this plane, that I'm not getting off that plane. So I had no sympathy for the man at the time. Now they go back. United Airlines is redacting what they said. They said he was being disobedient and, you know, belligerent and all these other things.
Well, according to the passengers, he wasn't being disobedient or belligerent. There was a language barrier. According to him, they immediately went to escalating the situation, not de-escalating the situation. He said, according to him, this is his statement, he would have been happy. I mean, maybe not happy, but he would have gotten up and deplaned if it would have explained to him in his native language, and he would have understood what was happening. He was in fight or flight. He didn't understand what was happening.
United Airlines released that in a quote saying that's what he was acting like. So when they turned the story around, and I guess that wasn't the story, and now I'm changing mine, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you just got to look at context always, I think. DBL is live. We'll bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up, are there wedding day clues to who stays married and who does not? Wedding photographers share their top red flags. Jeff's wife, Jordan, finds the hottest spring fashions for everybody. You'll want to see this before you go shopping. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. If you were Felicity Huffman's daughter, would you forgive her for that college admissions scandal? We're going to share your comments about that live coming up next.
Do you know everyone else first, or a mom who deserves a day just for herself? If so, DBL wants to pamper her for Mother's Day. To nominate an amazing mom, send us her picture and tell us what makes her so wonderful at casting@dailyblastlive.com.
It's Kelly Schubert with the DBL digital team. I'm tracking all the trending and breaking news, but for now, I think we're going to go to the desk and see what's going on over here.
Desk.
Hey, Big Jeff.
Desk.
What's happening? Did I say desk weird?
I don't know. Gotcha. Sometimes you just yell things out.
Yeah, sometimes.
Thank you.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, Jeff, you know, from looking at this story, are we on?
it's okay.
From looking at the story, Jeff, I thought about you because, you know, as somebody that's traveled, I thought I traveled a lot. You've literally been all over.
You've definitely taken over the frequent flyer box.
Mine is domestic, though. For you, traveling internationally, I thought about how many times, and, you know, I had an incident in Costa Rica one time. My ex-girlfriend lived there, so I used to go to Costa Rica when I lived in Miami once every 2 months. And one time I went and my passport was going to expire within 60 days. It's something like that, maybe 6 months, something like that, and they're worried that you're going to stay.
Right.
So I got some piece of paper signed at the American Embassy in the States, and I flew to Costa Rica, and apparently they did not get that memo.
Yeah.
And I gave the guy my passport, and the guy closed his station with my passport and closed the thing. And I'm just standing there, and I'm like trying to get some
Getting
answers.
in or getting out?
Yeah, getting in. I just landed in Costa Rica, and I'm
wow.
trying to figure out what's going on. And I speak Spanish somewhat, but they're talking fast. People are like kind of looking at me and motioning, and I saw one guy do like this, like to my passport, like he didn't want to touch it. And I remember I was about to get sent home. They were just going to put me, when you get deported from Costa Rica, they were just going to put me on a flight to Houston, like the first flight back to the States. Like I don't know anybody in Houston. And I remember I wasn't scared, but at the same time, I was unknowing. It got worked out like in the 12th and the 24th hour.
Can you imagine not knowing the language?
And not knowing the language, and it's like that to be escalated. And those guys do in those airports have machine guns, like not side pieces. They have guns that go around their shoulder. Yeah, and so I can understand how scared if like you were in Turkey or something and people are speaking a language and you don't know what they're saying. Yeah, and you're like, I don't know. Yeah, you already feel nervous anyway. So that's what
I was in Poland one time because I flew to Spain, but then I flew back to Poland to fly to the United States, which is coming out of the way, but I got a cheap flight. And they shredded everything I had. When in every present that I had, I was there for a month because they thought I was carrying drugs because I went from Spain to Poland when the United States is closer. And I went back to Poland, like, why did you come to Poland? I'm like, because this is where I flew out of. And they took every article out and it was everywhere in the room and they're like, have a nice day.
Oh my God.
And I was like,
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. It's probably pretty awkward at Felicity Huffman's house these days. She pled guilty yesterday to charges stemming from the college admissions scandal. Felicity seems remorseful, issuing a statement that said, quote, "In my misguided and profoundly wrong way, I have betrayed my daughter." So DBL Nation, we want to know, if you were Felicity Huffman's daughter, would you be able to forgive your mom and how?
Sam, I don't want to break this on the show. I am Felicity Huffman's daughter, so it's going to be awkward reading this. Ben, great name, that's my middle name. Ben from Facebook says, I would absolutely forgive my parents. This was an entirely bad plan, but you learn from your parents' mistakes and you don't repeat them. Ben, thank you. Look, man, life is long, brother, and you are going to make some mistakes. Some will be big, some will be small. I know people that have gotten DUIs and bounce right back. Look at somebody like Michael Vick that had that atrocity with the dogs and is now a great advocate for humane. You can bounce back. So don't look at this as a death sentence, especially as it pertains to your relationship with your daughter.
Ron from Facebook says, I don't know how I could completely forgive this. I would feel that my parents don't believe in me. Ron, I think that it's a really complicated issue because when you benefit from your parent advocating for you and taking care of you and all of these 3 hots and a super fancy cot that she's been benefiting from her parents her entire existence, people are going to make mistakes. And granted, this is an egregious one. There's going to be a price to pay. But I think that they can all learn something together as a family, but she can also take something away as a future mom of what not to do for her child.
Great answer, Erica. Claire from Facebook says, I don't agree with what Felicity Huffman did, but I would forgive her. She thought she was doing what was best for her daughter and lacked good judgment. Claire, I mean, that's perfect. I don't even need to talk. That's exactly what I would say. You know, I'm a new parent. I would do anything for my children, and I'm going to make mistakes along the way. Hopefully not one like this. I don't agree with what they did, but I get what their heart was telling them to do. They thought it was right. They were wrong. This is a life lesson for not only the mom, because you never stop learning, but for the daughter, like Erica said, for future mistakes.
All the future moms that we're going to try this.
And Monica from Facebook says, I feel that her daughter knew and therefore must also forgive herself too. For her knowledge of the scandal, she should be grateful that her mom took full responsibility. Listen, I know that I would forgive my parents in a heartbeat. I mean, we all make mistakes, and as you all said so eloquently, egregious ones at that. This is an egregious one. But I think Felicity Huffman specifically is teaching her daughter a very important lesson on when you do mess up, how do you recover? And this is how you recover. You admit, you're going to serve the time, and then you be part of the solution. And I think that is a valuable life lesson. So that's a tough one too. Well, thank you for writing in. We love hearing what you have to say. 2 stars from an 80s classic just got confirmed that there's a sequel in the works. Raquel Villanueva has the news at the moment.
That's right, Sam. It's official. A second installment of Coming to America is in production right now with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall coming back together again. And we have your very first look. Well, kinda. Famed costume designer Ruth E. Carter just posted pictures with the stars. They are all holding the Oscar she won for Black Panther. The original Coming to America was nominated for Best Costume Design back in 1988. Looks like they're hoping to win this time, and the sequel is set to be released next year.
Big expectations.
That's really great. 2 little Coming to America facts, 2 cameos. Who was the guy that robbed the McDowells?
Ooh,
I know,
actor. Samuel L. Jackson.
Sam Jackson.
That's right.
And do you know who was getting his haircut? He didn't have any lines.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good job, Jeffrey.
I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies.
It's
one of the best movies.
The sequel?
You know what? It's definitely a top 5 for me. So I hope they don't ruin it in some way, you know. But I'm excited about it.
I hope it's not a next Friday.
I know.
Here we go. Like, enough time has passed, though.
I know.
All right, we'll see. Coming up on DBL, actress Emilia Clarke admits to a very bad first day on Game of Thrones. You'll wonder how she came back. Lots of adorable new spring fashions, but which ones will look best on you? Our Jeff Schroeder's wife, Jordan, is taking you shopping to find the best looks for every kind of body. That's next.
The Sun.
How you guys doing today? It's Tuesday, so we're doing pretty good. You know, it's exciting. We're grinding through the week, and I have an interesting story. I'm going to be talking about The Walking Dead. So if you don't.
Oh, sorry, buddy. We're going to do it again so I get it perfect.
Awesome, Jeff.
I ruined your segment.
That's Jeff Schroeder, everybody. I was working on cutting a clip for him, but back to what I'm saying, there is going to be another Walking Dead series. So there's going to be a 3rd series in the Walking Dead franchise. There's the original Walking Dead series, and then there's Fear the Walking Dead, the 2nd series, and now there's going to be a 3rd one. It doesn't have a name yet, and there's not many details about it. What we do know is that Matt Negrete, who he's a veteran writer on the Walking Dead original series. He's going to be the showrunner on the new series. And for those who don't know, kind of TV lingo, showrunner means he pretty much has overall creative authority. So that's actually a super good thing because he's been with the series so long. So the 3rd installment should be pretty good. And just to give you a bit of background on The Walking Dead, It's kind of about a zombie apocalypse and, you know, flesh-eating people. And so this is pretty exciting. See you guys.
Welcome back to DBL. My wife Jordan has been very open about how hard it is to find clothes that fit after having our second child, Lawson.
Layton.
That's our first one. I get him screwed up every time.
It's okay, I got it. Jordan,
thanks, buddy.
Jordan looks gorgeous at any weight, of course you do, but we wanted to pamper her, so we sent her to Denver Darling Boutique here in Denver to find some fun spring styles that flatter her and every body type.
I told her that's what the two L's are going to happen.
Layton Lawson.
Hey, Abby. I'm so happy you're here. I need your help. I've been living in these yoga pants, and I want to look cute for spring, and I want to look cute for date nights. Get me out of my yoga stuff.
All right, I've got the perfect stuff for you. Okay, this is the first look. I love it. I picked this because you were looking for something for all body types and ages, and
to hide my stomach area because I have a little pooch because I had the baby.
And polka dots are so back for spring.
It hides everything, and I also love that it covers my legs too,
beautiful.
And I can wear it with wedges, and the pockets are my jam.
Here's your second look. I think this is a really great, like, updated athleisure, like, great update to your leggings.
I love it because it's comfortable. I feel like I can move in it with the boys. I can wear my tennis shoes with it. I feel like I could dress it up, and you know, I've told you this bottom area really bothers me, and I don't feel self-conscious in it.
Well, and don't you think it'd be great for the plane? Like, you could just throw on your tennis shoes, or you could dress it up, maybe with a leather jacket.
Okay.
Try this one on.
Oh, I love leather
Maybe
jackets.
just throw it over your shoulders. Layering for spring is huge.
Yes, because the weather here in Denver, it's hot and then it's cold, but this would be a great date night outfit for me.
It just adds another element and then dresses up.
I love it. Thank you, Abby. I feel pretty.
What do you think of this look?
I love it because I always go with navy blue, black, neutral colors, and this actually is a pop of color.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun, like, bright dress that's good for a cocktail party, and a nice, like, shift that's good for, like, all kinds of body types, especially a new mom.
Yes, and it's not, I like that it's loose here, and it's not super hugging around here or up top. It feels good.
This is a great dress for women of all ages that might, like, be uncomfortable with any kind of body issues.
You know I'll be back.
See you soon.
Bye.
You look amazing, Jordan.
Yeah, she looked great, and Layton is 7 months now, and Jordan's crushing the gym, and she looks fantastic. Great segment.
You were supposed to say, we'll be right back.
No, that's you. It says
no,
Sam.
It says, oh, he's right.
Promote.
What's up, y'all? I get to read viewer comments. I don't know where Brandon is, but I'm taking his job. Now, granted, he's way better looking than me, but guess what? I got the iPad and he doesn't. So let's get started. All right. Elizabeth Jordan says, speaking of Jordan, Jeff's wife, looked adorable. She can't look bad in anything. I agree. And she is just a better person inside than she is out. She's just such a, her and Jeff are just a perfect couple. It's so interesting. Like, I meet people and they're cool with me for like, like a couple days, and then it just slowly slips out like, I'm obsessed with Jeff and Jordan. So they have fans everywhere and with good reason. All right. And Norma Jean Kerr, and I'm assuming this is referring to the Varsity Blues college scandal. She says she's okay. Norma's not playing. She says send her to prison. She's not above the law because she's an actress. They sent Martha Stewart. That's right. Martha Stewart did a year. But you can make the argument, Norma, that Martha Stewart almost came out on top. She came out and almost reinvented herself after that year. She has a show with Snoop Dogg. She's still on top of her empire and almost kind of crossed over into a different genre, a younger genre. So, in a weird way, becoming a felon was the best thing that ever happened to her. Who would have thought she'd say that? All right. Madeline Elizabetta. Did I say that right? It's a pretty name. The bad thing about being from Ohio is like I'm so worried that my accent is going to destroy beautiful names like that. I hope it said that right, Madeline. A little bit. I think it's gone because I live so many places. It's just kind of Miami, New York, LA. I don't know what it is.
I don't even know what an Ohio accent sounds like.
It's I can tell. I can tell when guys are from Cleveland. I can tell when they're from Chicago, Detroit. Like there's little like different Kansas City. You can tell different things. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Madeline says, of course, and she's referring to, can you forgive? Can Felicity Huffman's daughter forgive her for what she did? And she says, of course. You forgive your own mother for being obsessed with your success. Madeline, I couldn't agree more. I said, I think it was yesterday. Obviously, no one agrees with what they did. That's not a very strong stance. But I do understand the birth in which that thought comes out of. You have these kids, and I have 3 kids. You love them more than yourself, more than anything in the world, and you'll do anything for them. And sometimes it's almost like a mental illness. Like you should never love anything so much. It's a beautiful thing that you do, like I do, but it makes you crazy sometimes, and it makes you make irrational decisions. And this was a big one. Let's hope this just gets resolved, because at the end of the day, I want everybody to move on with their lives, and I do want there to be some kind of precedent set, but I also don't know if our society is infinitely better by throwing them in jail for 4 years. I don't, but there's so many aspects of that. But yeah, so I do think she'll see some jail time. Let's get to one more. I'm getting the wrap up. John McNamara says on 11 Live, or let her kid go to a community college and help promote an online blog instead of doing something that wrecked it. So John is like, let's try and make some good out of this. So I agree with you guys. Thanks for listening to me, Blab. Talk to you soon. Welcome back to DBL. Every week, our friend Roman shows us a new dog up for adoption. But DBL Nation, we're getting word back that some of these dogs are still in shelters. So today, do me a favor, do everybody in the DBL Nation a favor, and see if you can help us find today's featured pup a forever home. Meet Ziva in this week's Roman Rescues.
Hi everyone, this is my friend Ziva here, and she's 4 years old and has been in and out of the shelter since 2016.
That's 3 years.
Yeah.
That is so sad. Ziva is unfortunately heartworm positive. She used to really play well with the other dogs, they said, but now what?
Now she's dog aggressive.
So she's got to be an only dog.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Well, I can tell you that Ziva is very sweet.
Yeah.
And she's a little bit of a jumper.
Yeah. She needs some manners still.
She may need some manners. Please adopt her. She needs it.
Ziva. Hey, girl.
She's
Hi,
doing on
Ziva.
her own.
All right, what do you say?
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, Ziva.
Yeah. And it seemed like Ziva's really like loyal, and I know when you hear that this dog kind of needs to be by itself, it kind of scares you away, but there's a lot of people, most people live in areas that are a little bit isolated, and if you have, no one around, that dog will be so loyal to you,
And dogs change personalities based on who they're with. Our Spike is like a completely different dog than when we first got him.
Yeah, so adopt Ziva!
Spike loves me.
Here's what's coming up next.
All new developments in the sex cult shocker that rocked Hollywood. We'll tell you how much time a former TV star is facing behind bars. Then, mystery solved. Vogue editor Anna Wintour reveals the real reason she's always hiding behind those iconic shades. And wedding day red flags. From the people who know, wedding photographers. The small signs that could spell marriage trouble down the road when DBL comes back.
Hey everyone, it's Leo here with the DBL Stream team to talk about the shows we're watching and shows coming up that we're excited to watch. And you can always join in on the binge because these shows are streaming across platforms like Netflix, HBO, Amazon Prime, and Hulu. Now this first one, super excited about this. It's called The Act. It's It's a Hulu original, and it's an anthology crime series, so every season is going to follow a different story. But the first one is the 2015 case of Dee Dee Blanchard and her daughter Gypsy, and Gypsy starts to finally slowly figure out that she doesn't have the disorders that her mom has been telling her for her entire life. And this is based on a true case, but this is such a good series, everybody. I mean, you've got the great ambience of unfolding this mystery. Is Gypsy actually have all these disorders like her mother told her about, or is she actually able to walk? Is she actually able to drink sugar? She tells her she's allergic to sugar, and she's actually not. So she's slowly starts to unfold these, but this is some powerful acting. You've got great acting out of Joey King, who plays Gypsy, an almost exact clone for clone of the real Gypsy. Wonderful series. Check it out. It's streaming on Hulu right now, and there's actually going to be a new episode today. And this next one, everybody knows this next one. Game of Thrones is streaming on HBO, and I just got done with the 5th season, and let me tell you guys, I've been watching this show back since it came out, and this is about the 5th or 6th time I've gone through, and it feels good to get done with season 5 and into season 6, but season 8 is coming up very soon on April 14th, so check that one out as well. And then some shows we're looking forward to that are actually coming out this week: Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Season 2, which is a much darker take on the Sabrina teenage witch that we all know and usually love. And then A Quiet Place is also coming to Hulu, which is John Krasinski's first directed movie. It is a super scary.
It's Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. We are live and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. So let's get started. There is a major break in the NXIVM sex cult case. You may have heard about it because actress Allison Mack was arrested in 2018 in connection with the case. And some of the details, let me tell you, are horrifying. Now, Allison has pled guilty to 1 count of racketeering and racketeering conspiracy. It all has to do with a cult she was associated with that pretends to be a self-help organization to empower women. In reality, the details, terrifying. The cult allegedly recruits women and blackmails them into being sex slaves. You may recognize Allison from Smallville. She starred in the show in the early 2000s. She was initially arrested on human trafficking charges, accused of recruiting women to be sex slaves and even branding them with the cult leader's initials. Jeez. He is Keith Rainier, who is also charged in the case. His trial is set to start later this month. Now, Allison faces up to 20 years in prison. She's scheduled to be sentenced in September. I'm not even comfortable calling this a sex cult. It's a rape cult. These poor women, Erica. What do you think happened to someone that seemingly had it all? This is somebody that had a very successful career. If you were fans of Smallville, let me tell you, you know, well, this was a very famous individual, big popular show. What do you think happened here?
You know, no one has it all, and I think that it's very important that we remind ourselves of that, because it sets up a very unrealistic expectation. What you have here is someone who probably fell victim to a lot of the things that the women that she recruited fell victim to, not taking away the responsibility, but I do think when we're looking at cases like R. Kelly, and I've said this before, they look for a certain type of person, and everyone just wants to be acknowledged. So if you get that acknowledgement, sometimes it comes in the form of things that aren't great, and you fall for it because it's a basic human need. So I think that it's really important that we take people around us who are feeling like they need to be acknowledged in some way and recognize them so that they get positive reinforcement as opposed to negative reinforcement.
That's a great point, Erica. And if what Erica is saying is true, that, and not again to expunge this woman, what she did, but if this woman was too also a victim, fell into this, do you think that that will help her case?
I don't know if anything can help her case at this point, but I was going to ask you guys before you so eloquently said it. This isn't something that just somebody just does. This seems like something that's implanted in you when you're a young person. And they say most victims of abuse either go on to victimize other people or take it out on themselves. But, you know, and I know you don't want to use the word sex cult because it is a euphemistic language. But if you look at all these cults, I just watched Wild Wild Country on Netflix. Charles Manson, he had a flock of women that recruited other women. Warren Jeffs. all these people, it all comes down to, hey, I'm Jesus Christ, and Allison needs your daughter. These are all based on sex. These are men that, like you said, Erica, find people that are vulnerable and take advantage. So I just want him to get exactly what he has coming to him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Well, here at DBL, we can't stop talking about Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Neither can you, DBL Nation. And right now, GOT actress Emilia Clarke is getting real about playing Daenerys on the show. It was her first job at age 22, and here's what she has to say about her first date.
Oh my God, I fell off horse. And I remember just hanging on for dear, I mean, literally, I'm like hanging on like this, and I'm hanging on for dear life, and I just remember shouting, please stop filming, and I just cried. So that was my first day on Game of Thrones.
And this has us thinking about our first day here at DBL. Anyone, oh my God, remember that? We're gonna watch it. I didn't even know this was happening.
No, no.
Judi Dench is rapping with rapper Lethal Bizzle. They collaborate on a few tracks, dropping some bars.
Yes.
You want to see what they do?
I have to see it. Let's
drop
it up there. Because it's creepy and freaky, which were my nicknames in high school.
Final vote is 52%. We're losing phones here.
And that's just telling your partner, I'm definitely cheating. All right? Like, and without putting the words on, whenever you put that mask on, you're like, either I'm cheating or I'm the guy from Deadpool. That was pre-Invisalign out.
Gee, that's hilarious. Wow. Wow.
We've grown a lot. Wow. That was. I don't even know if we have the picture. I remember we had to put our ear mold in for our IFBs, and I remember asking. I was like, could this leak and get stuck in my ear? No. 2 hours later, I'm in the urgent care getting plastic that had hardened in my ear out.
Yeah,
So,
I want to apologize for that, Al, because I was the one who said no.
Yeah, but see, I'll follow Erica to the end of the world, so I believed her. And,
Sorry, come a long way.
There we go.
Your shirt all untucked and baggy. What was that about?
And what was I doing? What was I reading off the card for? Where was the prompter?
I don't know if we had a prompter, did we?
Yeah. Did I used to do it off the card?
We started this with smoke and mirrors. So
Oh,
like,
my Lanta.
Look at us now.
I was in the background doing my makeup, so it's cool.
So that's the same.
All right. Moving on. Anna Wintour is a fashion icon, serving as the editor-in-chief of Vogue for over 30 years. But have you noticed she's always wearing sunglasses? In an interview with CNN, we finally get an explanation as to why. Watch.
They're incredibly useful because you avoid people knowing what you're thinking about. They help me when I'm feeling a bit tired or sleepy, and I don't know, maybe they've just become a crutch and part of who I am, but today I really did need them.
I love that because you never know what she's thinking.
No.
What do you mean? Designers?
No.
No. There's history here. First of all, if you've seen Devil Wears Prada, which was loosely based on Anna Wintour, many designers to this date will say that they have no idea what Anna Wintour is thinking about their collections because she has a poker face behind the glasses.
You are making excuses because you like this woman. If you went on a blind date and you sat in the booth and the guy was wearing sunglasses, you'd be like, check, please. The guys cannot get away with wearing sunglasses inside.
She's earned it. I'm sorry.
You can't earn that.
Erica, she has
Jeff, I need you back. Come on,
She's
man.
earned it.
I was a little taken aback to see her in sunglasses during the CNN interview.
I think it's
everywhere. I feel like on the runway, I think it's a thing. I understand that she's trying to have this poker face, but she should be good enough at the poker face that she could just do it with her face.
I appreciate it.
But the CNN interview, I feel like we should see her eyes at some point.
But that's not her. It would lose. Like, she's become a caricature of herself. You know, it's the same thing was with Karl Lagerfeld, right? They wore the glasses, they had the gloves. To me, she just represents, like, whether you like it or not, like that epitome of
If
fashion.
that was a dude, Santa Cruz Sam would come out and be like, cool sunglasses, bro.
Of course.
That's exactly what you would say. How did she get away with it then?
Because she's earned it, in my opinion. She's at the top of her game. She can do whatever she wants, and it's fashion.
We're at the top of our game. Let's wear my sunglasses.
So what is your Al Jackson? You come in with your sunglasses almost every day, by the way.
I have different shaded sunglasses that make me happy.
Yes, okay. So what is your fashion statement that you feel like makes you Al Jackson?
I don't know. You know, Bert, our senior executive producer extraordinaire, he got me into watches. We've been on that since he's been here, so I'm into watches. I look at what the watches people have on. He always shows me his watch, so that's my thing.
Erica, what do you think yours is?
I think it's called doing what I want when I want to. I mean, if you have the freedom to just like do what you want when you want to do it.
But no staple.
No, there's not a staple because it has to come to you.
Okay.
Generally, it comes to me and Anthony together, and it's like a couple thing.
I like that.
We're going 70s today.
Or matching onesies like you do for
matching
Christmas.
onesies.
Yes, girl.
My Adidas, all of that comes together.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Okay, so yours is a couples thing. Do you have like a specific Jeff flair? Do you?
No.
Yes, Jeff.
What? I wear V-necks.
I think your sock game is really.
I wear white V-neck to work every day, usually the same pair of jeans and a funky pair of underwear.
There we go.
What? I got awesome underwear.
I don't know if you want to call them funky.
Oh yeah, they're not funky smelling.
I really did take that.
I walked right into that one.
Jeff, you got a lot of female fans. Let's keep them.
I rocked right into that one. But I do.
A cool pair, crazy pair.
My underwear game is strong.
Okay,
there we
so
go.
is your sock game usually. So is his sock game is usually.
Sam, what about you?
For me,
See, I feel like it's the wraparound. You usually like the wraparound when you're casual.
Yeah, I'm always in a flannel, so maybe that is my staple. A little flannel Greg.
And slippers.
Do I always wear slippers?
I always see them in the dressing room.
Oh, well, those are just for comfortable, but I don't. What?
Nothing.
Okay.
What happened?
I don't always wear slippers.
I don't know. I just see them in there. I'm like, man, that's nice. I'm going to do the slipper thing.
Okay, good.
Because it's summertime. I'm going to flip-flop it.
You want to wear
flip
your
it.
slippers out in the parking lot? You're going to wear your slippers in the parking lot?
No, I have two pairs of slippers. One are like out in the parking lot slippers, and the other one's like in the studio slippers.
Very
in the studio slippers?
Yeah.
I think that's not true. That's not true.
That's not true at all.
Yeah. All right. I do love slippers. Maybe that's my staple.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. Did you know Hugh Jackman is a world record holder? He holds the record for the longest career as a Marvel superhero as Wolverine. But there's another record he wanted to break on The Tonight Show. Let's take a look.
At one point, we were trying to catch coins off our elbow. The record is like 194 or something.
Why don't you get out of the way? Oh, do you want to do it at the same time? But what if it goes awry? Oh! Oh, no.
So we have some quarters. We're going to try this out. Let's start with Erica. Go in front of the camera, Erica, because I think you need to stand.
I think you need to take your jacket
All right,
off.
where are we going? I don't even know.
Go, Erica, right there. You got it, girl.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, Erica.
I'm going with 4. I'm going with 4.
It's going to take me too long.
Watch this.
We don't have time.
I'm going with 4. Ready?
Try. Oh. Now, Jeff has definitely done this, though. You've done this before.
Can you just give me credit for something?
Yeah.
Always got to be an asterisk next to everything.
Okay.
Let's see you do it.
I kind of want to do, which side do I want to do? I want to do this
Are you
side.
right-handed?
Huh? I just feel like this side, shoot. Maybe I should do this side. No, I'm going to do,
oh my gosh.
Okay, give me the drum roll. Hey!
That's one way to do it. Al, let's go, buddy.
Al.
I think you're way too high, man.
Go, Al.
There's no such thing, Jeff.
Oh, that's okay, Al. That's okay. Well, good job. We both got it.
Yeah.
What?
We share the trophy.
Well,
I did 4.
Yeah, but you've also done this, you said, since you were a little kid.
Does it matter? If I win a gold medal, I win a gold medal.
Okay. Congratulations, Jeff. You win.
Thank you. Can we copy that? Can I get that? It's our first show. We're back in our t-shirts again.
Okay. Coming up on
my mic.
Coming up on DBL, a man looking for more love and kindness does something radical. You won't want to miss his heartwarming story. Also, are there clues about which marriages end in divorce? Wedding photographers say there are definitely red flags. That's coming up next.
Mom who's put her kids first for the last 18 years. A mom whose identity has been her kids. And now they've left the house? If so, DBL wants to help her out for Mother's Day to nominate an amazing...
You just saw us trying to break Guinness Book of World Records. I worked as I worked on a host. I worked on Officially Amazing. It was a Guinness Book of World Records show. It ran on the BBC for 8 seasons. We did 100 episodes.
Wow.
I've seen almost every world record broken.
All around the world you've gone,
Yeah,
right?
been all over. And it was a really cool experience. And you know what I really took from that circumstance? Because when I first got the hosting job, I kind of thought it was going to be this silly thing that I was doing, but then you see how seriously everybody takes it. And these people train for years. Sorry if there's jostling. Can you help with this? These people train for years to get this, to break these records, and they take it very, very seriously. So it was a real honor to watch these people. Some records were dangerous. One time my co-host had to, this guy was trying to break the record for the most roses snapped in half with a bullwhip, and he had to hold it in his mouth, and this guy had a real bullwhip and snapping. I remember like my friend's jaw trembling because I mean, a bullwhip this close to your face, but we did some fun ones. I saw a guy down in Daytona Beach break the record for longest time surfing while spinning a basketball on your finger, which was 34 seconds. And there are some that you can try around your office. There's dice stacking, most coins that you can stack on your hand, most Post-it notes you can stick to your body in 30 seconds. So look up some Guinness World Records and see if you can break them at home. All right? Thanks, guys.
For me?
Yeah,
Think about
that's cool.
Something to do good. Yeah. There's some silly ones.
You gotta do something. Yeah. We're just talking about world records. We want to break a world record. Hello. Hello. How many? No other television show is on. Let's do something on brand. No other television show is on as many hours as we are. Live. Isn't that breaking a record?
That's gotta be a record.
Is that not a record, Chris?
Well, I mean, broadcast, but like CNN's on live all day.
But what about us being like a talk show? Aren't we like the only talk show that's live in every time zone?
It's a sort of a record. I think we'd be hard pressed to convince Guinness to give us a certificate.
Well, he knows people over there.
Yeah.
He knows people.
I worked for Guinness for 8 years.
Yeah, so let's work on that. Cool.
I can do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
You got $500,000?
We're the only.
Welcome back to DBL. It's almost wedding season and people are tying the knot, but it isn't always marital bliss. Almost half of all marriages end in divorce or legal separation. But are there clues to which couples stay together? Wedding photographers say yes, and they're posting their red flags on a Reddit feed. Ooh, by far the most common story from the Reddit feed is cake smashing. You know, when the couple is cutting the cake and one person smashes icing in the other's face. If one smears cake in the other's face and it's not something either of them discussed, let alone wanted, well, some photographers say it's a dead giveaway that the marriage is doomed. Erica, yes?
Oh, yes.
Yes, communication and not knowing what your partner wants. Yes.
And some people find that highly disrespectful.
Totally.
Erica, is it a makeup thing? Because I know you do some.
It's highly disrespectful to put anything in someone's face, especially on their wedding day, and they don't know about it.
Yeah.
And you did all of this.
Super weird. I thought it was weird.
If that's your thing and y'all like that type of thing, God bless. But if you don't know about it, that day ain't the day.
I agree, Erica. Yeah. All right. Well, here's another red flag: flirty behavior. Yeah, think. One wedding photographer said that during the ceremony, the groom kept winking at her and her assistant, and she said he wasn't winking because he was tearing up. We got a from. Did you hear that? We got the gas.
I like it.
And that was a rightful gasp.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
No.
Because I'm not saying that I did it. I'm just saying people are drinking at weddings. Guys are drinking before weddings, and like behavior. I've seen some of the worst behavior I've seen at weddings. I mean, it's an open bar.
Other
people are emotional.
It, but not the groom.
Right.
No.
Keep it together, man.
I'm not saying he should do it. I'm just saying like it reduces your inhibitions, and I'm sure he just went back to singles bar days. Like, sup?
No. One wedding photographer said a bride wanted a discount on their photos because the groom wasn't smiling enough. The camera person said the groom barely said a word the entire day. Yikes.
Well, with a wife like that, I don't blame him.
Smile! Can you imagine?
Was that for me?
Yeah, that's for you.
Yeah. My husband didn't smile. Can I get my money back? I want a divorce before we get out of here. Yeah, that's right. Gasp it up.
It's all about how the couple treats one another on their special day. One wedding photographer said the day is stressful enough as it is, but if the couple can manage to be respectful to each other, it's a good sign. Another photographer said he had to Photoshop a smile on the groom post-production.
That's not good.
Wow.
I don't know if I told you. I'm not going to say who it was, but I was at a wedding, and the groom gave a speech to the soon-to-be wife that caused her to burst into tears and leave the exit. Yes, it was.
You were there?
Well, he brought up the prenup. He was trying to make a joke saying she signed the prenup this morning, and it was not. Did not go
That's
well.
raw.
Yeah, I mean, but this is like
raw.
Everybody was like, "What is happening?" And then all the guests are like, "We don't know what to do."
Now, was that him dishing a dig, or was that him just being clueless?
I think again, it's just like I would say with the best man speech. You got to watch the jokes on wedding days because it's not just your buddies. It's like people's grandmas are there and just like things out of context. It just really didn't go well.
Yikes.
They are not together anymore.
You didn't have to say that. Yeah. Kind of put that together. Yeah. Coming up, an amazing ad campaign that's getting all the love. You won't want to miss this sweet, sweet story coming up next.
Hey DBL Nation, it's Lex and I'm here with the DBL Digital team giving you guys more top trending stories during the breaks here at Daily Blast Live. Really cute wedding story. Shout out to my mom who might kill me for sharing this, but she made a speech at my aunt's wedding, her sister, and the first time it was really, really great. We all clapped, we all cried, but then she continued to tell us the speech the entire way home, asking us to clap and cheer for her like we did when she did it the first time. It was very, very sweet. So news story trending for you guys right now. This, a lot of people are up in arms about this, and it's a bit of a controversy. I'll have Leo pull up the photo for you guys. So these are two greeting cards. I'm not really sure what holidays they're for, but obviously you see the pink one says, a girl I'd buy flowers for, and the blue one says, you're a boy I'd make a sandwich for. So these are real greeting cards that someone found in a shop. Part of me thinks like, oh, this is kind of funny, like girls with flowers, boys with sandwiches. The sandwich one makes me a lot more like laughable, I think, it's more funny. But a lot of people are taking it to heart and think that this is a really bad way to influence young children of gender roles. So I can definitely see both sides. DBL Nation, make sure you guys are writing us in what you guys think about this. Is it too far, or do you think people are being too sensitive about it? Write us in, let us know.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Heart Threads is all about spreading the love. Watch how one man's message is making waves across the nation.
A billboard popping up across the country has one simple message: love. John Pogachar wanted to try a social experiment.
How can we put love out into the world just organically and see what happens?
He rented a billboard in Spokane, Washington, and just put the word love on it. When others saw it, more billboards suddenly appeared. That inspired Pogachar to put one up in Pittsburgh, near the scene of last year's deadly synagogue shooting.
I'm driving down the street and I see that and pause for a second to say, I need to be kinder to the people at work or kinder to my family at home. Then you know, it has done its job.
Someone took the message to Marshalltown, Iowa, where a tornado had touched down. 15 billboards have sprung up across the country. The love is spreading.
We're just in a world now that's just against stuff. And eventually we're going to have to replace that with what we're for. And it's only going to be this moment. It's only going to be love.
Let's just spread the love. We'll be right back.
We are here with, not Al Jackson, don't worry about me. We're here with the grand champion of our office, college basketball pool, and the number 2.
Oh, okay.
Patty, how you feeling after this big win?
I'm feeling great. Thank you. I'm feeling really great because
know a lot about sports.
Yeah. Why'd you pick Virginia?
Because I was watching something and this guy said Virginia is going to win, so I remembered that.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you know that they got eliminated first?
Nope.
So that was the first time ever a 1 seed lost to a 16 seed ever in NCAA history. They lost last year, and then they won this year.
Okay.
You got that?
I want Patty to just do sports talk radio like, dude, I heard this guy on a bus say that the Browns are going to win it this year.
Yeah.
I like it. And
what are your predictions for the NFL?
NFL?
I think that the Raiders are going to do really well.
Ooh, they got Antonio Brown now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's
you're a big fan of
why
his.
I'm a huge fan. He's my favorite
What
player.
about basketball? It's playoff starting.
Ooh, that's good.
That's going to be the Lakers.
They're not in the playoffs, so that's going to be really tough for them.
It's going to be tough for them, but they can do it. Because if anybody can do
So
it,
you
the
just think they
Lakers
should just
can.
crash the playoffs like a party? Just be like, we're
100%.
playing.
Is that not a thing?
Sometimes it works on
I think she's
pickleball
on
court.
point.
Yeah, I'm an expert.
All right.
I beat Jeff.
How are we going to celebrate?
First of all, you beat everybody.
I
don't know why I was
But
very
she beat
specific.
you the most, Jeff.
You picked way more right than I did.
I had 47 right. You had 36 right.
I know,
but
but
you picked the champ.
Wait, now, did you do the pool with your
I picked
boyfriend?
Michigan beating Duke.
He did
Can I
it,
get
and
like
he also
$5
won his
for
pool.
that?
He did? Did
Yeah.
he pick
He
Virginia?
picked Virginia to win, so we both won.
Really?
Yep.
Did you only do one pool? I did 3 and I lost all of them.
I only did one, yeah.
Yeah, I was out 2 weeks ago in my other 2 pools. At least this one, it made the game fun, right?
Well, I went to bed at halftime.
Yeah. Come on. Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, man. That hurts.
It's like
even
with
more.
every detail, she just twists
I was like way too anxious.
Oh, really? It was a
I did
good
get
game.
a little nervous, and so I was too anxious, and I just said, I told my fiance to wake me up if I win, and he didn't wake me up, so I thought that I lost and then I saw it this morning. So I actually thought I lost.
Man. You would have really been anxious because it was like tied, went into
I can't do
overtime.
that. It's not fun.
Now, do you follow any sports?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a general sports expert now.
You need to take some of that winnings and buy yourself a Virginia shirt.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't really like their colors.
They're the Bears colors.
Well, it's orange isn't really a good look for me.
Well, you have great
But they have navy.
Oh, that's true. Thank you.
Navy with white. 30.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Go Virginia.
All right, everybody. Patty, the office pool winner.
Yay!
All right.
Welcome back to DBL. One last story before we go. Singer John Legend admits he doesn't know how to swim, and now he's learning from the best. Olympic gold medalist Ryan Lochte gave him some swim lessons. Check this out.
Here we go. All right, we're gonna swim back. Ready? Go.
How was that? Was that awesome?
Made the team.
That's a good stroke, John Legend. If you could pick any celebrity to teach you something, what would it be and who would it be?
I would have Steph Curry show me how to shoot free throws perfectly.
Dang, that's a good one.
I'd have Jason Mraz help me play the guitar.
Oh, yeah.
How sick that would be.
Well, I already have one.
Ooh, what?
Well, because Sam Shocker told me she was going to teach me how to swim.
When are we going to do it? Let's do it, Erica. You tell me when. You got to do it.
You let me know, Sam.
Okay.
In case you don't know, Sam Shocker is a very highly skilled swimmer.
She almost lost to me and Jeff.
Learning. That is not true.
That is so not true.
Sam, we can run it back, buddy. We can run it back,
lost
buddy.
to you and Jeff.
We can run it back
By the way, you two
anytime.
had a relay and I was single, but that's okay.
Well, yeah, you didn't have Tori as your anchor.
And I still won by half of pool length.
I don't remember that.
You sank.
We remember.
I decided to start walking halfway through. But I feel like every man should have his decision.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Been practicing.
Yeah, but Erica, we can do that anytime, girl.
Okay.
You just tell me when.
It's getting warm, so we're going to do it.
Yeah, I can't wait. Maybe we can tape it, do a little segment on it.
Let's do it.
If you're comfortable with that.
Like, okay.
All right, well, we will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Have a happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I forget.
Nation, Kelly Schubert with the DBL Digital team here. It's time for Between So's with Shuby. My head looks really big in that
2
picture.
minutes,
It's okay.
Tori, Jeff, Sam, and Al.
My head is kind of big. Actually, I have a really small head, if you wanted to know. It's really small. I'm tracking the latest in the college admissions scandal, so I'm getting a little update on the Lori Loughlin thing. It's 19 new parents now who were not admitting guilt, so these are the people who did not take a plea deal. So Lori is included in that, and of course her husband Massimo Giannulli. It says it could face a maximum sentence of 20 to 40 years in prison. What? So that means Aunt Becky could be going to prison for a long, long time. It's kind of crazy to think about. John's laughing, but like, this is what we know Lori Loughlin as. She is Aunt Becky, or she's the lady from the Hallmark Channel. You know what I mean? She's the goody two-shoes. I'm honestly sick of hearing about this story. I think we should wrap it up and get them going to jail or get them getting punished and sentenced and move on. I do give Felicity props because at least she admitted what she did was wrong. But I want to know from DBL Nation, do you really think her daughter didn't know? And how do you think William H. Macy was involved? Now, we know he was listed in the first indictment, but he was just listed with the other daughter. So apparently he never followed through with the other daughter, so that's why we haven't seen him get indicted at all. But I do think it's weird that he didn't show up with her to any of the court appearances or anything like that, but maybe he's trying to keep himself away from it for his own brand, to at least save the family some money maybe, because he is on that show Shameless. DBL Nation, I want to hear your comments. Please send us to them using the hashtag DBLTake, and we've got a great show coming up for you. We'll see you soon.
This is Daily Blast Live. We are talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, April 9th. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Tori, Jeff, Al, and I am Sam.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. Happy Tuesday.
His banter right before we start the show, to me, is just I just cherish it. Happy. I know you're happy. I love you. All right, well, we do have new details at the moment in the college admission scandal. Actress Lori Loughlin and her husband have turned down a plea deal, and now federal prosecutors have added money laundering charges against the two. The new charge alone carries a minimum sentence of 4 years and 9 months, according to Team Z. This is in addition to charges for allegedly paying $500,000 to pass their daughters off as athletic recruits at USC. And check out this new photo of Felicity's husband, actor William H. Macy. This is the first photo since his wife announced she will plead guilty in the college scandal. He was photographed in an LA parking garage before he got on his motorcycle and took off. Meantime, we're also learning that Felicity could serve time in prison if federal prosecutors get their way. She could be facing 4 to 10 months behind bars. Tori, the way I see it is the evidence seems to be there. I see Felicity Huffman taking one route of accountability and, hey, I'm going to do the time and I'm going to be part of the solution. What do you think Lori Loughlin is thinking?
Well, here's what I think has been broken down. About 33 families were indicted, and 15, including Felicity Huffman, have pled guilty. And they are basically going to get a good deal. And I think they're going to get their reputation back. And I think if you own up to it, it's a good thing. 15 of them have now been hit with money laundering, which the maximum is 40 years in prison. This is hard time. We're talking major problems here because they put the money into a fake charitable organization. They also dealt with mail fraud because they mailed the application in.
Oh my
so
goodness.
These are 5 to 10 years plus 20 to 40 years. So we're talking major. So 15 of the families have now been hit with this extra money laundering. It seems like half went along with it and half didn't. That's my speculation for what I'm seeing. I think you'll see Lori Loughlin get some jail time. I don't think it'll be as much as everybody wants, though. That's just my
Do you think there's going to be accountability there, like we saw with Felicity?
No. I think she knows how to play one part, and one part is the ingenue, and that's her, and she'll smile through it all and not I think she'll just try and get the trial through.
I don't know if that works in 2019.
It's a terrible idea.
We all make mistakes, just own it. I think in this day and age, Jeff, all we want to see is people just own it.
Yeah, I've been saying that from the beginning about her daughter, about both of them. I'm not happy about what they did, but I'm glad what Felicity did in this case. Even though she apologized and I love the way she went after it, doesn't mean she didn't break the law. So whatever Lori gets, she should get too, which I'm thinking they're not going to go have any prison time. That's just me. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know the law. You never know what's going to happen when you have a lot of money. Sometimes they beat the law.
Do you think they're going to go to jail?
Yes, I do think they're going to see some jail time because.
Should they go to jail?
I think they should.
I do too.
You know, but I think that you know, I don't know how much it does good for our society, for our tax dollars, to be paying for them in jail. I think that we could use them in another way, and you know, hopefully just redo this system. I'm not for just throwing everybody in jail. I just don't know if that works.
But will it be fair when there's other parents that are currently in jail for changing the zip code of their
I saw that
child's...
story, and that's so unfair. We don't have time to get into it. I completely agree with you.
I'm just saying, like,
so yeah,
let's treat everybody equally.
It should at least be what that woman gets, you know. But you know, giving them 40 years, I mean, we could do that, but.
I don't think they'll see that at all.
Of course, yes.
But now that you've added money laundering,
that's really
seems
bad.
Like it might be a real
inevitable.
All
right.
Yeah.
That's how they take down the mob, money laundering.
We will follow that story, let me tell you. We have to give a big DBL shout out to Virginia. They won the men's NCAA championship last night against Texas Tech, 85-77.
Cavs.
It was they are the Cavs. It was an incredible game that went to overtime, and it's a true story of redemption. Last year, Virginia was the first team ever to lose in the first round as a #1 seed to a 16th seed team, but look at them now. I wonder if them losing last year, being like the #1 seed, just gave them that much more motivation to come back and win it.
It had to, yes. Yeah. And I always say sometimes you know, when you fail in life, or your worst failures are your biggest successes. So that's just a story of this right now. Congratulations to our senior producer, Patty. She won the big pool, so congratulations to her.
And you would have won if Texas Tech won. Yeah.
Yes, by the point scale. She had Virginia winning it all, which is nobody picked that, and she did, so congrats.
Way to go, Patty. Well, big news today on the release of Robert Mueller's report. Kelly Schuberth has the news at this moment. Kelly.
That's right, Sam. Today, Attorney General William Barr testified before Congress for the first time since the Mueller report was finished. During the hearing, Barr said the process of redacting Mueller's report is going well and that he expects to release the report within the next week. Things that would be redacted include grand jury information that would reveal intelligence sources and methods, parts of the report that could interfere with ongoing prosecution, and information that implicates the privacy of peripheral players. So, Sam, it's a waiting game for now, but I'll update you as soon as it's released.
So just my expectation is late April, we're going to see a heavily redacted, but still we're going to get some information there. And I think what you're going to see is Democrats subpoenaing actual Robert Mueller. I think you're going to have him go to Congress.
So you don't think people will be satisfied with this report, with the redactions?
No, when you have a House that's the Democrats are the majority, they're going to push to get what they think is in there, the meat of it that they're not getting from a 4-page report. Whether or not you believe it, I think they'll keep pushing.
All right, wow. We will see. You will remember this next viral video. It was on this day 2 years ago when a Kentucky doctor was violently dragged off a United Airlines flight. The flight was overbooked and he was asked to deplane, but he refused because he felt he was being discriminated against. And now that man is speaking out for the first time. This is Dr. Dow, who was originally from Vietnam. He was on his way to open a clinic for U.S. veterans when all of this happened. Here's what he says about that day.
I just cried.
You can hear you screaming in pain.
I don't know, I just cried. The most important thing is the accident turned out the positive way. Airline business willing to change policy.
You forgiven?
Yes.
Wow. The doctor and United Airlines reached an undisclosed settlement over the incident. However, the amount is not public. Also, United changed their policy as a result of the incident and said in a statement that the changes we have implemented since that incident better serve our customers and further empower our employees. Now, Tori, the selflessness from this man who was violently assaulted, and I know there's another narrative that people say, why didn't he just get up? Well, fine, you can say that. I think that there's a language barrier. I think there's a lot of things, but at the very, let's say he did refuse. Does it have to end with broken teeth, broken jaw, a concussion?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if people know the whole story. So he was plucked out of the ocean by the U.S. Navy, running away from communism in Vietnam, and to give back, he was opening this clinic for the U.S. veterans. And he didn't understand that he was supposed to get off from a lottery because they were overbooked, and no one clearly explained the situation. So the next step in protocol was to get law enforcement on the plane and just drag him. He hit his head right away. Right away, he smacks his head. He's unconscious here. His teeth are knocked out. He has trauma for years afterwards. He didn't understand what was going on. Passengers are saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. At some point, thank God United said we made a mistake. They now no longer allow law enforcement to come onto airplanes and take people off like they have no rights. And Dr. Dow, through the whole thing, is now given back to Hurricane Harvey for solar power, for the electricity that's gone out. This man is an angel, and I'm so sorry that this had to happen to him, but he is a good man, and I pray for him. He's a great man.
I think what else we're not talking about here is that his dignity was taken away.
That's it.
I look at that man. He's not concerned about money. I mean, you could tell by the way he's dressed. He is very like a kind of a plain man. He lives through giving to other people and just genuinely living by a code. And I feel like he felt like what was happening to him was unfair. And for him to be knocked unconscious and dragged out, not only were his rights violated, but his dignity was taken away.
And it went viral.
He became the laughingstock of the internet. I can't imagine some of the comments that were posted.
Some people said he deserved it.
Of course they did. And so, like, I like that they interviewed him. And it wasn't about the money. It was just about a man getting his dignity back, and for people like Tori to be able to tell the real story about who this man is.
Yeah, and for him to just to button it up, for him to say, "I'm glad this happened to me," so policies would change.
Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore.
No, yeah. DBL's Live will bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up, are there wedding day clues to who stays married and who does not? Wedding photographers share their top red flags, and Jeff's wife Jordan finds the hottest spring fashions for every body type. You'll want to see this before you go shopping. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. If you were Felicity Huffman's daughter, would you forgive her for that college admissions scandal? We share your comments live coming up next.
Hi, DBL Nation. Kelly Sheworth with the DBL Digital team here. I'm tracking all the breaking news and trending stories. But for now, let's go to the desk and see what's going on over here. Hey, guys, what's happening?
Hey, Kelly. Do we have comments, T-Bone?
Well, now we do. Hi, my Daily Blast Live crew. Hi, I'm Queen Ellen Dolores Hall. Well, hello, Your Majesty, and I welcome to the YouTube chat. That's interesting. We're going to talk about that later. He should own half of United Airlines, says Vote to Count. If you guys don't know, Dr. Dow has an undisclosed agreement for some amount of money.
Sure.
By signing that agreement, he gives up his right to sue, to really talk about it very much, and to tell us how much money he made. But let me tell you something.
Yes, honey, that looks great.
That man,
yes, that
must have made so much money. United Airlines not only called him belligerent, they defamed him. I mean, it went on and on. Then they backtracked. I have to imagine that. I mean, Sam, how much money do you think Dr. Dow? I mean, there's no way we'll ever know, right? But that man is owed a tremendous amount of money.
I think they probably did like 100 million.
I was thinking 250 million.
As silly as that sounds,
I know,
I think
crazy
100 million.
But he was humiliated,
he was concussed,
defamed,
humiliated,
and then called belligerent. So
yeah, because they did defame him immediately. And then when some of the footage came out and people were saying he was not defiant, he was confused,
and like out of
There's a big difference between confusion, especially with a language barrier, and belligerent.
Totally. Yeah. Totally. So as Vote to Count says, he should own half of United Airlines. We don't know that he doesn't. We have no idea what's going on, but Bob Tavares says Lori Loughlin is nothing like her Full House character. And I think that's where we keep talking about this, is that Felicity Huffman is kind of seen as someone that can be different characters. Lori Loughlin is always the happy-go Aunt Becky at the Hallmark Channel, at this. You never see her anywhere else. So the only role she knows how to play is smiling, and it's a tough place, but she put herself there.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? She doesn't have the nuance. I feel like I agree.
I just want to see her.
If her daughter's not going to say anything, then she's not. That's the wrong way to go, in my opinion.
I know. You just can't keep on pretending. We all know the details. We all know the facts. We all see the evidence.
I just wonder, like, when was the last time any of these people were part of the real world?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, it's probably been for her daughter's whole life for as long. It's just. I just don't think they believe that anything can happen.
That's a great point.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host. When we talk about what you're talking about, it's probably pretty awkward at Felicity Huffman's house these days. She pled guilty yesterday to charges stemming from the college admissions scandal. Felicity seems remorseful, issuing a statement that said, quote, "In my misguided and profoundly wrong way, I have betrayed my daughter." So DBL Nation, we want to know, if you were Felicity Huffman's daughter, would you be able to forgive your mom?
That's a good question, Sam. Carl from YouTube says, I don't come from money, so I wouldn't be able to forgive my mom until I was able to outlive the scandal. Carl, I understand what you're saying. They say time heals all wounds, and I hope it applies in this situation. I think we both agree, brother, that, you know, life is long. And for things that seem so impactful and devastating in the moment, 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line, it's barely a blip in most people's radar. So hopefully this family will be able to recover and move on from this, because, you know, there's no point in dwelling on it. It happened.
Yeah, it's a great point. Lena from Facebook says, I love my mom. She gave me life. And sometimes mothers don't always make the best decisions when looking out for their families. I'd forgive her. Lena or Lana, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I completely am on your side on this. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm learning to deal with my mistakes a lot and owning up to that right now in my life personally. And also, this wasn't a malicious, I know it was corrupt, but she did it out of love or trying to allow her daughters to do better. So I say definitely forgive and learn.
Anne-Marie from Facebook says, although I'm extremely close with my mom, it might take me a while to forgive her. I'm becoming a college professor, and this would have ruined my career.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, you're right. You know, but there's certain things in life that we all go through that we don't want to go through, but it's going to make you a better person in the end. I couldn't fathom not forgiving my mom for something she did, and I'm a new parent to 2 little boys, and I'm going to make plenty of mistakes along the way, and I hope that they forgive me. Granted, I'm not saying what they're doing is okay, but I get they're coming from a good place.
Amen. And Martin from Facebook says, I believe in forgiveness, especially when the person is family and they are sincere. Amen. I would forgive my parents in the blink of an eye. Not to condone what these parents did. I think it's egregious. I think that they should suffer the repercussions. I want to see them use this as a life lesson to teach their children. What do you do when you mess up? This is what you do. You do what Felicity Huffman's doing. You own it. You try and be a part of the solution. You serve your time and you become a better person. I'm not so sure Lori Loughlin's doing the same thing. I hope that she has an aha moment and she acknowledges her mistakes and she serves the time and she comes out a better person. I think that's an important life lesson to teach your children. And yes, forgiveness always in my book. Thank you for writing in. We got some really exciting news, guys. 2 stars from an 80s classic just confirmed. A sequel is in the works. So let's get to Raquel Villanueva. She has the news at the moment.
That's right, Sam. It's official. A second installment of Coming Into America is in production right now, with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall coming back together again. And we have your very first look. Well, kinda. Famed costume designer Ruthie Carter just posted pictures with the stars. They're all holding the Oscar she won for Black Panther. The original Coming to America was nominated for Best Costume Design back in 1988, and it looks like they're hoping to win this time. And the sequel is set to be released next year.
So excited. Me and Jeff, one of our favorites. Jeff, since you know a lot of Coming to America trivia, I'm going to hit you with a tough one.
Okay.
What was the difference between McDowell's burgers and McDonald's burgers?
McDowell's had the golden arcs. McDonald's had the golden arcs.
That was the logo, but there was something about the burger.
No sesame seed?
There we go. I love this man. Jeff knows this. Love that movie,
It's
man.
a top 5 for me.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
It's hilarious.
Oh,
So
definitely.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, well, because when something's that great, you know what I mean? Like, who talks about Caddyshack 2?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
So
that's
it's
a good
like,
point.
I don't know. I don't know.
Tori, have you seen Coming to America?
Oh, yeah. I love when they go to Queens and other things I can't say on air.
Okay. There we go. Good line.
You know the part, well, I'll tell you later.
Coming up on DBL, actress Emilia Clarke admits to a very bad first day on Game of Thrones. You'll wonder how she came back, and lots of adorable new spring fashions. But which ones will you look best? Will look the best on you? Our Jeff Schroeder's wife, Jordan, is taking you shopping to find the best looks for every kind of body. That's next.
Hey DBL Nation, how you doing today? It is Mike, and I'm covering the latest trending stories out there with the DBL digital team. And so I have a question: are there any country music fans out there? Well, as it turns out, there's less and less country music fans because the ratings are in for the ACM Awards, and it's all-time lowest ratings in the coveted demo. So what do I mean when I say demo? Well, demo refers to the 18 to 49-year-old demographic that many TV shows use. Actually, the 18 to 49 demo is the premier demo. It's a TV show's lifeline. If ratings are good in there, the show will always be on. And so TV shows are always trying to bump their numbers in the coveted demo. And sadly, the ACM Awards were in their lowest ever. And it was actually the second lowest total viewers ever for the show. They brought in 9.9 million viewers, and that was the second lowest, and the lowest happened in 2007, and it was 9.25 viewers. So yeah, and part of that I think was because CBS was competing with American Idol on ABC, and as you know, CBS used to run American Idol. So yeah, so I guess message me on Twitter, and I want to know, are there any more country music fans out there? See ya.
Welcome back to DBL. My wife Jordan has been very open about how hard it is to find clothes that fit after having our second child, Lawson.
Layton.
That's our first one. I get him screwed up every time.
It's okay, I got it. Jordan,
Thanks, buddy.
Jordan looks gorgeous at any weight, of course you do, but we wanted to pamper her, so we sent her to Denver Darling Boutique here in Denver to find some fun spring styles that flatter her and every body type.
I told her that's what the two L's are going to happen.
Layton Lawson.
Hey, Abby, I'm so happy you're here. I need your help. I've been living in these yoga pants, and I want to look cute for spring, and I want to look cute for date nights. Get me out of my yoga stuff.
All right, I've got the perfect stuff for you. Okay, this is the first look. I love it. I picked this because you were looking for something for all body types and ages, and
to hide my stomach area because I have a little pooch because I had the baby.
And polka dots are so back for spring.
It hides everything, and I also love that it covers my legs too,
beautiful.
And I can wear it with wedges, and the pockets are my jam.
Here's your second look. I think this is a really great, like, updated athleisure, like, great update to your leggings.
I love it because it's comfortable. I feel like I can move in it with the boys. I can wear my tennis shoes with it. I feel like I could dress it up, and you know, I've told you this bottom area really bothers me, and I don't feel self-conscious in it.
Well, and don't you think it'd be great for the plane? Like, you could just throw on your tennis shoes, or you could dress it up, maybe with a leather jacket.
Okay.
Try this one on.
Oh, I love leather
Maybe
jacket.
just throw it over your shoulders. Layering for spring is huge.
Yes, because the weather here in Denver, it's hot and then it's cold, but this would be a great date night outfit for me.
It just adds another element and then it dresses up.
I love it. Thank you, Abby. I feel pretty.
What do you think of this look?
I love it because I always go with navy blue, black, neutral colors, and this actually is a pop of color.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun, like, bright dress that's good for a cocktail party, and a nice, like, shift that's good for, like, all kinds of body types, especially a new mom.
Yes, and it's not, I like that it's loose here, and it's not super hugging around here or up top. It feels good.
This is a great dress for women of all ages that might, like, be uncomfortable with any kind of body issues.
You know I'll be back.
See you soon.
Bye.
You look amazing, Jordan.
Yeah, she looked great, and Layton is 7 months now, and Jordan's crushing the gym, and she looks fantastic. Great segment.
You were supposed to say, we'll be right back.
No, that's you. It says
no,
Sam.
It says, oh, he's right.
Welcome to Double Jump. Today we're reviewing Shazam. I'm Abby, and
I'm Alex.
And we are going to be telling you our thoughts, which are very different. So why don't you take it away?
So for me, this movie was not a home run. It wasn't really a run at all. It was something I sat through.
Whoa.
I know, it's pretty rough. It is a nice change of pace from what we're used to seeing in terms of tone and quality. For me, you know, what made it not a home run was that the story wasn't great. They tried to build some backstory for some of the characters, and I feel like they just didn't develop it enough for me.
Oh, really?
I know, yeah.
That was like one of my favorite parts.
What?
The backstory. That like really brought me in.
I feel like they didn't try. They thought about it, and then they just gave up halfway through.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess, you know, the parents bit has been done before.
Yeah, I do think
we'll give you that.
for a younger audience, though, this has a really good appeal. It does have, like, there's some really goofy jokes that land. There's some really, like, oh, I'm a kid jokes that are really great. And so for that, like, I enjoyed that part. It was fun.
Wow.
I know.
Harsh review.
Yeah, no, not great.
Okay, so I had a totally different opinion. I loved seeing this movie, but I don't know if my expectations might have been a little bit different. Like, I don't know if maybe it got hyped up a little more for you.
I don't know if it was the hype. I just thought that there was going to be more story behind it, especially like after the first 5-10 minutes of, you know, the first couple scenes. I was like, oh, this is the tone the movie's gonna take. We're really gonna get into this. And then we just didn't. It just didn't go where, you know, I wanted it to go.
Oh my God, okay, so it went totally the way I wanted it to go. I thought it was funny. I liked the backstory. I got really like invested in those characters, but I also like am very easy to please. I don't know.
I think I'm just very difficult to please.
I really liked it until there was one part towards the end where I was like, come on, really? Which you guys will know when you see.
I'm sure I agree with you.
My review is that you should go see it in theaters because I think some of the action and that kind of stuff is worth it to see on the big screen.
You know, I'm actually gonna strangely agree with you just because I was like one of 2 people in the entire theater who like wasn't digging it. So you know what? Go see it in theaters. Even if you don't like it, everyone else's happiness is gonna make you happier.
Yeah, take your kids this weekend. It's a great one to see with them, and we'll see you next time.
Welcome back to DBL. Every week, our friend Roman shows us a new dog up for adoption. But DBL Nation, we're getting word back that some of these dogs are still in shelters. So today, do me a favor, do everybody in the DBL Nation a favor, and see if you can help us find today's featured pup a forever home. Meet Ziva in this week's Roman Rescues.
Hi everyone, this is my friend Ziva here, and she's 4 years old and has been in and out of the shelter since 2016.
That's 3 years.
Yeah.
That is so sad. Ziva is unfortunately heartworm positive. She used to really play well with the other dogs, they said, but now what?
Now she's dog aggressive.
So she's got to be an only dog.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Well, I can tell you that Ziva is very sweet.
Yeah.
And she's a little bit of a jumper.
Yeah. She needs some manners still.
She may need some manners. Please adopt her. She needs it.
Ziva. Hey, girl.
She's
Hi,
doing on
Ziva.
a bone.
All right, what do you say?
Thank you. Bye.
All right, I love Roman, and the dogs get cuter and cuter. Am I right, Al?
They do. I mean, the dogs. The dogs are amazing. Thank you for that one shot. You know, honestly, you know, they said that I don't want people to be scared off by, you know, thinking that this dog is dog aggressive.
Right.
That just means that there's a lot of people that have a lot of land, a lot of space, and these kind of dogs are super loyal. They just might not be the best around other dogs. So if you're a person that kind of has a, you know, a place where a dog can kind of roam without running into other dogs, that's the perfect dog for you.
Exactly. And if you have some experience, even better. So we hope he gets adopted.
Okay. Good home. All right, guys, here's what's coming up next on DBL.
all new developments in the sex cult shocker that rocked Hollywood. We'll tell you how much time a former TV star is facing behind bars. Then, mystery solved. Vogue editor Anna Wintour reveals the real reason she's always hiding behind those iconic shades. And wedding day red flags from the people who know, wedding photographers. The small signs that could spell marriage trouble down the road when DBL comes back.
Hey everyone, it's Leo here with the DBL Stream team to talk about the shows we're watching and shows coming up that we're excited to watch. And you can always join in on the binge because these shows are streaming across platforms like Netflix, HBO, Amazon Prime, and Hulu. Now this first one, super excited about this. It's called The Act. It's a Hulu original and it's an anthology crime series, so every season is going to follow a different story. But the first one is the 2015 case of Dee Dee Blanchard and her daughter Gypsy, and Gypsy starts to finally slowly figure out that she doesn't have the disorders that her mom has been telling her for her entire life. And this is based on a true case, but this is such a good series, everybody. I mean, you've got the great ambience of unfolding this mystery. Is Gypsy actually have all these disorders like her mother told her about, or is she actually able to walk? Is she actually able to drink sugar? She tells her she's allergic to sugar and she's actually not. So she slowly starts to unfold these, but this is some powerful acting. You've got great acting out of Joey King, who plays Gypsy, an almost exact clone for clone of the real Gypsy. Wonderful series. Check it out. It's streaming on Hulu right now, and there's actually going to be a new episode today. And this next one, everybody knows this next one. Game of Thrones is streaming on HBO, and I just got done with the 5th season, and let me tell you guys, I've been watching this show back since it came out, and this is about the 5th or 6th time I've gone through, and it feels good to get done with season 5 and into season 6, but season 8 is coming up very soon on April 14th, so check that one out as well. And then some shows we're looking forward to that are actually coming out this week. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Season 2, which is a much darker take on the Sabrina teenage witch that we all know and usually love. And then A Quiet Place is also coming to Hulu, which is John Krasinski's first directed movie. It is a super, super scary movie that barely has any sound in it, guys. But come back next week for some more shows, and we'll see you next time with the DBL Stream Team.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. We are live and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. So let's get started. Well, there is a major break in the NXIVM sex cult case. You may have heard about it because actress Allison Mack was arrested in 2018 in connection with the case. Now Allison has pled guilty to 1 count of racketeering and racketeering conspiracy. It all has to do with a cult she was associated with that pretends to be a self-help organization to empower women. In reality, the details are horrifying. The cult allegedly recruits women and blackmails them into being sex slaves. You may recognize Allison from Smallville. She starred in the show in the early 2000s. She was initially arrested on human trafficking charges, accused of recruiting women to be sex slaves and even branding them with the cult leader's initials. He is Keith Rainier, who is also charged in the case. His trial is set to start later this month. Now Allison faces up to 20 years in prison. She's scheduled to be sentenced in September. I'm not even comfortable, Al, calling this a sex cult because it's a rape cult.
That's what it is.
It's 100% a rape cult. The fact that someone who seemingly had it all, you know, a celebrity, had a successful job, somehow was recruited and able then to recruit other women, I don't know how to wrap my head around that.
Well, we always say this like somehow because on paper, these people, they couldn't be more normal. But people that seek out people like this have an MO. Usually abusers can find people that are willing to be abused, and they baby step it up until they completely have them under control. And if you look at all these cults, whether it's this, whether it's a Wild Wild Country documentary, whether it was Warren Jeffs in Utah or Charlie Manson in California, it's all the same thing. It all boils down to sex. Whether they say, I'm Jesus Christ, or I'm an alien and I need need to impregnate every woman I meet. It's always some nonsense story to have sex. So this is just another example.
And Tori, to brand them with the initials. I read up a little bit on this. The blackmail including getting very personal images and videos from the people that they're trying to literally recruit, and then threatening with them that we're going to release it all unless you either have sex with this Keith guy who's 58 years old and nobody. I have no idea who this guy is. I hope he rots in jail. I hope that she sees this. I hope she sees the full amount of her penalty. This is horrific.
What if she's a victim too?
That's the hard part, and that's circumstantial, and that's what her lawyer is set up to do, to instruct the jury that this is her background, and there's context there. That's why we have a jury of her peers to make that decision and see what was egregious enough to not, and what she should be taken into account.
Yeah, and we will be following the details of that case, so we will definitely keep you up to date. Here at DBL, we can't stop talking about Game of Thrones, and neither can you, DBL Nation. And right now, GOT actress Emilia Clarke is getting real about playing Daenerys on the show. It was her first job at age 22, and here's what she has to say about her first day.
Oh my God, I fell off a horse. And I remember just hanging on for dear, I mean, literally, I'm like hanging on like this, and I'm hanging on for dear life, and I just remember shouting, "Please stop filming!" And I just cried. So that was my first day on Game of Thrones.
And this has us thinking about our first day here at DBL. Anyone remember that? Let's watch. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, Tori, get ready.
Oh, no. All this sign needs is a ba-dum-ching, and is this thing on. But don't worry, the sign will be here all week. Back to you guys.
Judi Dench is rapping with rapper Lethal Bizzle. They collaborate on a few tracks, dropping some bars. You want to see what they do?
I have to see it. Let's drop it up there. Because it's creepy and freaky, which were my nicknames in high school.
Final vote is 52%. We're losing phones here. Am I on? I'm not on.
And that's just telling your partner, I'm definitely cheating. All right? Like, and without putting the words on, whenever you put that mask on, you're like, either I'm cheating or I'm the guy from Deadpool.
Ouch.
I was still
all
funny.
around.
No, it's so crazy to see how far we've come in just 2 years.
Gosh.
And thank you, Bert and Lisa, to getting us to where we are.
We're
really appreciate
lucky.
you guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
sticking by us.
Yeah, for real. They saw something good. They just had to dust us off. But I just remember the first day here when we were getting our ear molds put in, and it comes in a liquid form and it hardens in your ear.
You did not want to do that.
Well, I didn't want to do it, and everybody's like, I've done this on 5 shows. It's fine. And I was like, are you sure it's not going to harden in my ear canal? Smash cut to 2 hours later. I'm at urgent care. Getting this wax removed.
Yes. I remember that.
Yeah.
You must have felt just so. Did it affect your equilibrium, everything?
It's just weird when you can't. It feels like somebody's got earmuffs on. And I remember they have like some kind of wash they use, and that really affects your equilibrium because they have to blast it out, so it really knocks you off. So they tell you can't stand for a little while, and it was bad. So, but it was worth it. I got a great.
We've come a long way. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, we've come a long way. All right, well, Anna Wintour is a fashion icon, serving as the editor-in-chief of Vogue for over 30 years. But have you noticed she's always wearing sunglasses? In an interview with CNN, we finally get an explanation as to why. Watch.
They're incredibly useful because you avoid people knowing what you're thinking about. They help me when I'm feeling a bit tired or sleepy, and I don't know, maybe they've just become a crutch and part of who I am, but today I really did need them.
Have we ever seen Anna Wintour without her signature glasses?
Very rarely. I talked to Steph Jones, our fashionista, and she says she's well known in England to have it because when she's seeing a collection, she doesn't want the designer to know what she's thinking about the collection, which is incredible. But yeah, she recently had eye surgery, so she really did have a reason to be wearing them.
What when she's not having eye surgery or not seeing a collection? Like, how does she get away with sunglasses inside?
She's earned it.
She's Anna Wintour.
No, you can't. You guys really, you guys talk out of both sides of your mouth because you guys attacked my girl Gwyneth Paltrow about Goop, but you don't attack other people. You let Anna Wintour get away with sunglasses inside. No man in this room will get away with sunglasses inside.
You are very, very wrong. We always say about Gwyneth Paltrow, she acts like the everyday girl, but has way too expensive things. Anna Wintour has always been Anna Wintour. Always. Yeah. Her theme is so consistent.
How much money do I need to make to wear sunglasses inside every day?
Anna Wintour money.
It's not about making the money.
She brought up money.
You know, she's a fashion icon. It's
so am I. Al Fashion Jackson.
It's the same thing with Karl Lagerfeld. Like, they're known to, like, you know, like he had the signature ponytail, the gloves, the glasses. It's just a fashion moment, and they make that moment.
You can meet guys with ponytails. It's not that hard.
If I was community college art department and would you say Lagerfeld was behind me and Anna Wintour in front of me? I'm like, who are these two crazy people?
All right, they earned it, in my opinion. But I agree. Fair enough.
Not fair.
Singer John Legend admits he doesn't know how to swim, and now he's learning from the best. Olympic gold medalist Ryan Lochte gave him some swim lessons. Check it out.
Here we go. All right, we're going to swim back. Ready? Go.
How was that? Was that awesome?
I made the team.
That's awesome.
That gave me an idea.
What?
I'm like, I make some connections. I'm gonna hire Ryan Lochte to train me and Jeff. We're going back at Sam, part 2. We're gonna get our money back because Sam embarrassed. I don't know even if we have that video.
We have it.
Do we have that video?
Yeah, we have it.
Jeff, you got a good jump there.
Yeah, but then I forgot how to swim.
And you forgot not to tag me. All right, there we go.
This is when Al just jumps and starts walking. Just starts walking. I'm just going to just walk it out.
See, right there, I feel like I still had a shot.
Nope,
then,
just going to walk it out.
Oh, no.
Nope.
That's just a sad.
That's a desperate plea.
Yeah, that was. Look,
Yeah. That was hard, though. I had not swam in 17 years.
Wow. And have you swum since then?
No.
No? All right, that's it. Once every 17
but
years.
That 50-yard free, like, really made me tired.
Right.
Which was
Did
surprising.
you get flashbacks?
Yeah, I remember going home being like, just, whoa, I can't believe I used to do that times like 8,000 yards.
Right.
Crazy. Yeah.
And I helped.
And I remember you said you were the water moccasin. How?
That's right.
What do you mean? You were a college athlete swimmer. I held my own pretty good.
You were great, but you.
Hey, I'm right here.
You were great, but you also made it sound like that you were the fastest swimmer ever. Remember?
All right, I'm the worst.
No, you're not the worst. But just
I
be
think
careful
I'm the
what
worst.
you say.
I started walking.
Be careful what you say. Was this a life lesson?
Water moccasin no more.
You called yourself the water moccasin.
Okay.
You did.
All right.
You did.
I think we have a little challenge coming up.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yes, and you've been practicing since you were a kid.
Oh, that
Did
doesn't
you know-
count.
Did
Because
you know-
you're an Olympic athlete.
Did you know Hugh Jackman is a world record holder? He holds the record for the longest career as a Marvel superhero as Wolverine. But there's another record he wanted to break on The Tonight Show. Let's take a look.
At one point, we were trying to catch coins off our elbow. The record is like 194 or something.
Why don't you get out of the way? Oh, do you want to do it at the same time? But what if it goes awry? Oh! Oh, no.
So we have some quarters, and we're going to try this out. Now, Jeff, you've been doing this trick since you were a kid. Go for it. You go first. Go first. You've been doing it since you were a kid.
You're not the boss of me.
Sam, I was like, you're telling me.
Okay, Tori, you go first. We're all supposed to participate.
We
Tori,
are.
you go first.
Why you got to switch up the order to boss me? I got to take my jacket off.
Tori, go
What's
first.
happening?
Tori,
Do you
go
wanna go?
first.
No, go.
Go, Tori.
Okay, where do I go? Here?
Yes, Tori.
Go, Tori.
Say it like
Well,
that.
where else would you go?
Tori, you got it, Tori. You got it, girl. Get it, Tori.
Yay!
Good job, Tori. Good job.
Quarters for Tori.
Okay, Jeff has a lot of practice at this. Get it, Jeff.
Why is
All
he
right,
so
there's 5.
Get it, Jeff. Get it.
Oh.
Good job.
All right, Sam, all right. Let's see what you got,
Do I
girl.
have to do all 5 quarters?
Yes, we all
Yes.
did.
I don't have to. I can't just do 1 quarter?
No.
Oh, okay. Shoot. Jeez. I actually have 6 quarters. How many do you have?
That's 6 quarters to pick up.
Okay. I don't know. I never know which hand you guys do.
These are not good questions you're asking.
Wait, what are you doing?
I don't know which.
Okay, hold on. You gotta put it on your elbow.
Okay,
first.
okay. Here we go.
Yeah!
I got 3 of them.
Yeah!
Almost 4. Almost 4. Okay.
All right.
Al, you're not participating?
I'm not. I was going to show. I used to host a Guinness Book of World Records show. We did 100 episodes.
So you're not going to participate?
18. I cannot get this tight jacket off.
He can't take the jacket off.
I can't.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's me with the world's longest tongue. That's me with the world's longest nails.
Oh my gosh, the longest nails.
Yeah, that's me against the world's largest athlete.
Whoa.
Sumo wrestler, guy named Manny Yarborough. Nice guy. That's me with the world's largest pizza.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So Al's just getting out of this quarter thing by showing his pictures.
That's
I like
right.
this. I like this. I like this.
Wow.
That was the longest tongue that last
Yeah.
one? Longer than the singer?
Yeah, Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons.
Yeah, hers. Yeah, hers is longer.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it's been beaten since then. That was maybe 4 years ago. But what's that? That laugh didn't come from a good place. What was that?
Jeff is just puffed up right now from winning.
I'm not puffed up at all. You guys want me to be 100% honest? These two got like a little side thing, and they know how to like get under my skin, and it's so under my skin right now.
Oh, they're
I just told them if you were my wife, we'd be in a huge fight right now.
What did I do?
Yeah, I just said it.
What did I do?
You better be careful what you say.
You said you were a water moccasin.
Oh, we'd be in a huge fight.
You said you were
a huge
Tori,
fight. Let's go.
Okay.
And Tori like sticks it in from the back. You two know exactly what you're doing.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, giggling.
What's this music? What's happening?
The dramatic
art music for me on my last day.
Wait, all I said was you said you were a water moccasin and one of the fastest swimmers in the world, so we challenged. And you didn't win. That's all I said.
Sam, you know what's really helping this is you guys both laughing at him.
Yeah.
That's really.
I'm not laughing. I'm laughing with you. You won the quarters. You won the quarters.
Dude, we better go to break because I'm going to flip this table over.
Why?
Hopefully we'll be here.
Why?
And one of us might not.
I said we'll be right back.
Let's go. Get out of here.
Do you know a mom who's put her kids first for the last 18 years? A mom whose identity has been her kids. And now they've left the house? If so, DBL wants to help her out for Mother's Day. To nominate an amazing empty nester, send us her picture and tell us what makes her so wonderful to casting@dailyblastlive.com.
Best Fiends.
Welcome back to DBL. It's almost wedding season and people are tying the knot, but it isn't always marital bliss. Almost half of all marriages end in divorce or legal separation. But are there clues to which couples stay together? Wedding photographers say yes, and they're posting their red flags on a Reddit feed. By far, the most common story from the Reddit feed is cake smashing. You know, when the couple is cutting the cake and one person smashes icing in the other's face. If one smears cake in the other's face and it's not something either of them discussed, let alone wanted, some photographers say it's a dead giveaway that the marriage is doomed. Oh. Totally agree with this one. Totally. Because then it just shows that your partner doesn't know how to read you. Yes. And there's a lack of communication. You need to discuss that.
That would be discussed first.
It's discussed with us.
Did you do it?
No, we discussed it. I did not. I had great hair and makeup that day. I did not want to. And my husband's very picky with his food. Like
Right.
he's very a clean person. So we both were like, no way. He would have been so pissed if I wiped cake in his face.
Can I ask you guys
and
a
I would have
question?
been ticked too.
Do you think the garter ceremony is weird?
Yes, and we did it.
I think
and
it's
it was
weird.
So
It's like your
weird.
dad is there. It's like-
My husband's head was under my dress. It was so awkward. I didn't feel comfortable. My dad's in the corner. It was very awkward.
I had chocolate cake, and I was wearing a white dress, and we still did it.
Did you discuss it?
Yeah, we were like, yeah, let's go for it.
See,
yeah,
you discuss.
But I can't believe I didn't think about chocolate.
Oh, look at that picture.
Oh, can we go back and see that?
What was it? Was it
you?
Oh, my Bobo.
Sweet.
And then after that, it was some dancing.
That's what we're going to call it.
Yep.
Here's another red flag. Flirty behavior, you think? One wedding photographer said that during the wedding ceremony, the groom kept winking at her and her assistant, and she said he wasn't winking because he was tearing up. Does all this reinforce your belief, Jeff, that this is ridiculous?
Yes.
Just go to just save the money, go to a courthouse.
Yeah, I'm super happy that's what we did.
Do we
I'm
have
not
a
saying
photo
that's
of
for
you?
everybody, but I'm not sure. Maybe at the courthouse, but anyways, it's a courthouse picture. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
That's great.
Look
But yeah,
cute.
so I mean, it just seems like there's more problems and more problems and more problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I avoided so many problems. I feel like by doing
saved
that.
money.
And that was the number one reason.
saved money. One wedding photographer said a bride wanted a discount on their photos because the groom wasn't smiling enough. The camera person said the groom barely said a word the entire wedding day. Yikes. Can you imagine asking for a discount because your partner wasn't smiling?
It's a little weird.
A little controlling.
I did get a little, I had a moment, my bridezilla moment was right when we were taking pictures and my heels were sinking in the grass. And so I started freaking out and I did get I got a little bridezilla towards Brooks, and I've apologized since, but our photographer probably thought I was not the nicest person.
That sounds like a country song. My heels are sinking in the grass. Linda Ronstadt.
I like it. It's all about how the couple treats one another on their special day. One wedding photographer said the day is stressful enough as it is, but if the couple can manage to be respectful to each other, it's a good sign. Another photographer said he had to Photoshop a smile on the groom in post-production. Yikes. So yeah, just have fun, enjoy your wedding. I look back on mine, it was like one of the most special days ever.
Right, it just seems like the planning gets so intricate that after a while
Let it
people
go.
just can't. Yeah.
Let it go.
And even if it's perfect, you're still stressed. You're stressed the whole time leading up to it. You have the perfect day, but you're like, I didn't even get a chance to enjoy it or see anybody because I was so stressed out.
I remember that. That's true.
I talked to all my friends. They all say the same thing.
And you're exhausted. Do you remember how tired you were at the end?
Very.
Yeah. All right. Coming up, an amazing ad campaign that's getting all the love. You won't want to miss this sweet, sweet story coming up next.
It's Lex, and I'm here with the DVL Digital team giving you guys more top trending stories during the breaks here at Daily Blast Live. So I have a really, really heartwarming story for you guys. You may remember a few weeks ago, it's been a while, we reported on... What happened? No, it's a good story.
Oh, I thought she said heartburn.
Heartwarming.
If you want things to be facts, here's Lex on a desk.
She does this every time and she thinks that it rhymes.
I keep trying to think of what rhymes with desk.
Lex and desk barely rhyme.
Could someone come up with a better one and I will sing it? Okay, go ahead.
Please help us.
Please help us. We have no creativity left.
So, do you remember that school in Newark, New Jersey?
Yeah.
That did the free laundry in the school?
Yes.
The principal said that he wanted to make sure all kids could come to the school and people were getting
good about
bullied
themselves. That's
because
right.
their clothes weren't clean. So, this same school is now doing this new program called Lights On, and on Fridays you could catch kids at the school staying there until 11 o'clock at night. It keeps them off the streets. The kids love it.
It's called Lights On?
It's called Lights On.
This is fantastic. This is fantastic.
I mean,
what school is this? In Newark?
Newark, New Jersey.
Fantastic idea.
Shout out to New Jersey.
What up, Jersey? My dad went to Patterson High.
Yeah.
Or Eastside High. Eastside High. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. It's just like, how creative is this principal?
And it's not that hard to think about somehow getting
Yeah.
those kids and how much you're saving elsewhere. That's amazing.
They're playing games. They're learning still. It's incredible.
amazing.
So shout out
Also,
to this Jersey school.
Shout out to Tide, because when you have FEMA, they usually have Tide comes and it helps people wash their clothes, because that's one thing you don't think of. You're just wearing dirty clothes for all this time. So shout out to all those companies helping out with washing their clothes. It's dignity, people.
Bye now.
Dignity. Lex on the desk.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Heart Threads is all about spreading the love. Watch how one man's message is making waves across the nation. A billboard popping up across the country has one simple message: love. John Pogachar wanted to try a social experiment.
How can we put love out into the world just organically and see what happens?
He rented a billboard in Spokane, Washington, and just put the word love on it. When others saw it, more billboards suddenly appeared. That inspired Pogachar to put one up in Pittsburgh, near the scene of last year's deadly synagogue shooting.
I'm driving down the street and I see that and pause for a second to say, I need to be kinder to the people at work or kinder to my family at home. Then you know, it has done its job.
Someone took the message to Marshalltown, Iowa, where a tornado had touched down. 15 billboards have sprung up across the country. The love is spreading.
We're just in a world now that's just against stuff. And eventually we're going to have to replace that with what we're for. And it's only going to be this moment. It's only going to be love.
Let's just spread the love. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
movie news. The new Joker trailer is here, plus Avengers Endgame is breaking records. But bad news for GameStop. Could they be going under? That's all next in The Jump Off. I'm Abby and welcome to The Jump Off. I'm here to bring you all the latest news in gaming, tech, and nerd culture. So let's get started right now. We have our very first look at the new Joker movie starring Joaquin Phoenix. The movie is expected to show us how Batman's biggest rival became evil. The internet just can't get enough of this new trailer. It's been trending high on YouTube all week. The movie comes out in October, and while it's not your usual superhero film, I can't wait to see what Joaquin Phoenix does with the role. And speaking of superheroes, Avengers Endgame basically broke the internet. There were so many people trying to buy pre-sale tickets when they went on sale, many websites crashed, like AMC, Fandango, Regal Cinemas, and Atom Tickets. They all reported having issues. Avengers Endgame broke pre-sale records in just 6 hours. If you're lucky enough to get a ticket, Avengers Endgame hits theaters April 26th. And is GameStop going under? It's one of the biggest video game retailers, but it just reported its worst annual performance in decades. This could be because of downloadable games. People just don't need to go into an actual store anymore. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I go to Amazon rather than checking out 10 different stores. So I don't blame you. That's it for The Jump Off. As always, I'll be here every week with the latest in gaming, tech, and nerd culture news. I'll see you next time.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Tori.
Well, Cheryl Hannah, who I love, says Roman is a hero. I think she's Buffalo. Buffalo, back to Cheryl. Roman is a hero. Bob Tavera says Roman is such a salesman. What a nice woofie. I thought so too. And if you're interested, make sure you look at Project Freedom Rides on Facebook. Sue Bruce says DBL, it's great seeing Jordan on segments. She is just adorable.
I thought you said Subaru.
Sue Bruce.
Oh,
Subaru watches us.
Yeah,
just like the whole corporation.
The whole company. They
stop
us.
Production.
Huge fans of Noelle. They love you. Barb says, just love it when Jordan is on. She's such a great addition to the show. She's so natural at it and very relatable. And finally, Singing Mary, thank you, DBL, for the adorable segment with Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan really is a natural man. You're amazing, Jordan. We love you.
That's the girl.
We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye, guys.
DBL Nation, so I'm just doing my usual weather girl thing where I go around the studio and I break the news to everyone that it's going to snow really bad tomorrow.
What? No, I'm just kidding. Also, can I say one last thing? In my new segment called, just turn around and go, wait, hold on. Turn around and then go like this, okay? Go like this. Hey, give me some space. Those are stars.
Wait, what are these?
Stars.
Oh.
Anywho.
That didn't translate. I think it should be like, give me some space.
That's way better. That's way better. That's it.
That's fun. I like it.
Anywho, don't ever push
Still
me
workshopping
again.
that one.
It really
Between shows
interesting. With Shulman, give me space. So it turns out, for the very first time ever, Einstein's theory of black holes will finally be tested by photographs. Now, Einstein has always said that the universe, imagine, dips down like a mattress, sagging in the middle. And in the middle of this one cluster that a group of telescopes have found is a entity that's just no one can understand, that's 4 million suns, the energy of 4 million suns. And they think it's a black hole. So what they're doing is they're aiming all these telescopes at the sun, and they're going to try and get a picture of the very first image of what a black hole is. Remember, it's still just a theory. We don't have a photograph of black holes, of seeing the black hole on the inside. So that's what it's going to be. It's huge, and that's been this episode of Give Me Some Space.
Even though it was between show with Shuby time, but that's okay. We love having Tori, and I wanted to workshop her new segment. We need to get a graphic made for her. Space. Give me some space.
Sorry.
Give me some space.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Tuesday, April 9th. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. And right now, I'm here with Erica, Tori, and Al. I'm Jeff. Let's get to it, guys, because we have new details right now in the college admissions scandal. Actress Lori Loughlin and her husband have turned down a plea deal, and now federal prosecutors have added money laundering charges against the two. The new charges alone carries a minimum sentence of 4 years and 9 months, according to TMZ. This is in addition to charges for allegedly paying $500,000 to pass their daughter off as athletic recruits at USC. And check out this new photo of Felicity's husband, actor William H. Macy. This is the first photo since his wife announced she will plead guilty in the college admission scandal, I should say. He was photographed in an LA parking garage before he got on his motorcycle and took off. Meantime, we're also learning that Felicity could serve time in prison if federal prosecutors get their way. She could be facing 4 to 6 months behind bars. A lot different than Lori Loughlin.
Yeah, a lot different. One is more egregious in terms of the law. One is $500,000 and using photographs. One's $15,000 and sort of cheating on an SAT score. Both are bad. 33 families have been indicted. 15 of them have pled guilty, and I just don't see them getting that much or any jail time, including Felicity Huffman. 15 have not, and they just all got money laundering added to their deal.
Can you tell our audience why that's bad?
You know what's bad?
I just know it's bad because I watch mafia movies, and I know that's they don't never get them for the murders. It's always the money laundering. It's racketeering.
Yeah, the maximum sentence, I know we said 4 years the minimum. The maximum is 40 years in prison. We're now talking hard jail time. And if she attempted or conspired to have mail fraud by sending in the application through the mail, that's 5 to 10 years. So this is real time.
Now, as a novice to the law, I'm just wondering, because to me it kind of sounds almost like as if someone took a plea deal, like they're getting leniency because they're taking accountability earlier, which doesn't bode well for the person who didn't take the deal. Is that kind of the same?
Yes, so they offered Lori Loughlin a deal and Massimo. They said no. The second they said no, money laundering was added. So the whole time they knew they had that piece, and that was trying to be the deal. If I had been their lawyer, I probably would have said, own up, take the deal, figure it out, and come back. Now you've just added a tremendous amount more of possible jail time.
And then Felicity Huffman actually taking accountability in public, then that makes it worse for them. Just because she's already, it's in the same thing, she's already...
Yeah, because how do you say I'm not guilty to someone who's already pled guilty to the
I have a
same
question
person?
for you, 3 married people. Let's assume that they're all children involved. This is the same situation.
Yes.
You and your spouse both discussed this, pillow talk, this is what we're doing. They clearly, there's no way that the other spouse didn't know.
Like William H. Macy.
Right.
Right.
Do you let your other spouse go down? Or do you say one of us has got to steer the ship while the other one's locked down? But then you're letting 100% of the public focus and scrutiny and scorn to go on your partner, and you know that you guys are 50-50 in that.
I don't think I've changed my opinion, although I realize that this is an egregious mistake. I've always thought that Felicity Huffman and William H. Macy were an ideal couple. And because they've made this mistake, I haven't 1,000,000% changed my mind. The way that they've handled this by having her be the front person and like they're keeping this together is brilliant.
I agree.
In my opinion.
I agree.
I think that's how you sustain an empire, you build an empire, you got to figure it out, and you figure it out as a team.
And have a family still. They have one parent who's still a movie star or TV star at least and can make the money. Smart move.
All right. All right. And we have to give a big DBL shout out to Virginia. They won the men's NCAA championship last night against Texas Tech, 85-77. It was a crazy game. It went into overtime, and it's a true story of redemption. Last year, Virginia was the first team ever to lose in the first round as a #1 seed to a 16th seed. But look at them now.
Yeah, and Jeff, you know what I really like about this is this isn't like they lost to a 16 team and then 6 years later this happened, because those players that lost to that 16 seed would always be forever lampooned. They would be on the 50 worst sports team of all. For the rest of their life, they would have dealt with this the rest of their life. And now they got a chance to get that stink off of them and get the championship. I mean, it's a bigger deal than you know, because those kids would have walked around, oh, you were on that team that lost to the 16 seed. That's the only way you would know that team.
Well, that's one graduating class that is still affected.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because there were seniors on that team.
Sometimes some of your biggest failures are your biggest successes later on, and this was 1 year later, but I do have to give a shout out, speaking of successes, to Patty, our senior producer.
Patty.
Come on, Patty.
We love you.
Texas Tech, it was a great game. It made me enjoy the game that much more, though, with money on the line.
Yeah.
You liked it?
It's only a couple bucks. Well, I didn't like the full thing, but it went into overtime. I was very excited.
I don't watch a game if I don't have money on it.
Really?
No.
Jeez.
Why?
Wow. Al's going away for racketeering.
And guys, that's 40 years in prison. No, I'm kidding.
Big news today on the release of Robert Mueller's report. Let's get over to Kelly Schubert. She has news at the moment.
That's right, Jeff. Today, Attorney General William Barr testified before Congress for the first time since the Mueller report was finished. During the hearing, Barr said the process of redacting Mueller's report is going well and that he expects to release the report within the next week. Things that would be redacted include grand jury information, information that would reveal intelligence sources and methods, parts of the report that could interfere with ongoing prosecution, and information that implicates the privacy of, quote, peripheral players. So, Jeff, it's a waiting game for now, but I'll update you as soon as I learn more.
Thank you so much, Kelly. We're going to move on right now, guys. You remember this next viral video? It was on this day 2 years ago. Wow. I remember it like it was yesterday when a Kentucky doctor was violently dragged off a United Airlines flight. The flight was overbooked, and he was asked to deplane, but he refused because he felt he was being discriminated against, and now that man is speaking out for the very first time. This is Dr. Dow, who was originally from Vietnam. He was on his way to open a clinic for U.S. veterans when all of this happened, and here's what he said about that day.
I just cried.
You can hear you screaming in pain.
I don't know, I just cried. The most important thing is the accident turned out the positive way. Airline business willing to change policy.
You forgiven?
Yes.
And the doctor and United Airlines reach an undisclosed settlement over the incident. However, the amount is not public. Also, United changed their policies as a result of the incident and said in a statement that the changes we have implemented since the incident better serve our customers and further empower our employees.
That's a nice way to put that. We've decided not to drag our customers out like a beverage cart. Oh, well, thank you.
You're exactly
I'm glad you had to write that down to not do that.
It's exactly right. I have to be honest. This guy he ran from Vietnam and ran away from communism, picked up by the U.S. Navy in the middle of the ocean, wanted to give back, was on his way to open a clinic for U.S. veterans to give back. The language barrier was a problem. He didn't understand what they wanted. They were overbooked. He was picked by the lotto. He didn't understand.
I would say a lot of American citizens wouldn't understand.
I completely agree. The first second they drag him out, they bring law enforcement officials on, he hits his head. So as they're dragging him, watch this, he's unconscious. He doesn't remember any of this.
Oh my goodness.
His teeth have been knocked out. He has to go to a trauma team. He deals with depression, trauma, and yet he still decides to give back to Hurricane Harvey and give solar panels because he's just a saint. United now says they will no longer allow law enforcement officials to come on board because you take away your rights as a citizen, and I'm very, very happy that he still sees a positive.
Right, and I'll be 100% honest. When I first saw this story 2 years ago, which again, I can't believe it was 2 years ago, I was on the complete other side. I'm like, this guy's being stubborn, he won't get up. I didn't know all the details, and United put out a very different statement of what they're doing right now.
That's true.
They called him belligerent.
Hold on, Jeff, wait a second. You're saying that you got new information and that caused you to change your paradigm. Wow.
Critical thinking.
Wouldn't that be nice if everybody did that, Erica?
Yeah, but I do think, because it does feel like it was yesterday that this happened.
It really does.
And to be honest about it, even having the conversation about the idea of you felt like you're discriminated against versus not, I can't think of a whole lot of instances that we would say it's okay for someone not to obey the rules on a flight when we all know how angsty we all get when we are paying customers and we're on a flight where someone doesn't want to comply with the rules. So I'm not even going to go as far as to say that people got new information and all of a sudden everyone feels like, well, now we're all okay 2 years later. I think that people had a real reason to be upset about the idea of any customer, for any reason, delaying a flight for their own agenda based on a lottery situation. I'm not saying that this person should be vilified, but I'm certainly saying let's be honest about our feelings.
But I also don't think that you would think law enforcement should have dragged him out in that way. There's no way that he should have been dragged.
I'm saying based on the idea of you think that you personally are having your rights violated by having a lottery system, I don't have a ton of empathy, and I'm going to say that because I'm hoping for my next flight, someone doesn't feel that they are being violated and causing everyone else to have to suffer because they don't want to do what they're being asked
I get exactly what you're saying. Let's continue this in the break. Check us out on Facebook and YouTube. And if you're in Group 6, don't wait around in your line for Group 2. Get in the back. DBL is live. We'll bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up, are there wedding day clues to who stays married and who does not? Ooh, wedding photographers say there are some red flags. And my wife Jordan finds the hottest spring fashions for every body type. Get it? You'll want to see what that means when we come back. And you, the viewer, are the fifth host. If you were Felicity Huffman's daughter, would you forgive her for that college admission scandal? We share your comments live again.
Hi guys, Kelly Schubert for the DBL Digital team here. I think we were having a great conversation at the table, so let's go back over here and see what's going on. Hey guys, do you want to continue talking about the airplane stitch?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
The point you're making. I totally get the point you're making.
I want to be clear because I think sometimes we have like a very rose glass sense of things, especially when some time has passed. But what we really, and I know that this is a much more egregious offense, the fact that the guy was dragged and his rights were taken away from him. But what we're dealing with is something that when you're asked to do something, especially on a flight, you need to comply with what you're being asked to do, because what you're really doing is putting everyone else's safety, time, personal security at risk. So the idea that we would talk about this 2 years later with new information, and of course, like, no one wants to see someone battered this way or have themselves be violated in this way, but the fact still remains. If you are a passenger on a flight and you're asked to comply, you need to comply. And I don't think I'm comfortable sitting here and saying that there are a lot of different reasons for why you shouldn't, because right now I can't think of a whole lot.
Yeah, and I hear that very clearly, and I think when I read into this, Dr. Dow at least said, people say he thought he was being discriminated against. A lot of people also said he had a language barrier and didn't understand the lottery, and also wasn't explained to him that they were overbooked and what was happening. So what his recollection, and it differs from United, is that he looked up, they said you need to leave, and the next thing he remembers, he's getting his head banged. That's certainly not what United is saying happened. That's what he recalls. So clearly that's not the correct way to do it. They won't have law enforcement officials on. But being on a plane, I do understand that it's super touchy if you go against any type of authority because of what we've seen in the past. I completely see that. But I think, I can't imagine he understood what was going on. And that's maybe what part of that problem was a language issue.
Because we started it saying that he felt like he was...
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for Fifth Host, and we talk about what you're talking about. It's probably pretty awkward at Felicity Huffman's house these days. She pled guilty yesterday to charges stemming from the college admissions scandal. Felicity seems remorseful, issuing a statement of her own that said, quote, "In my misguided and profound wrong way, I've betrayed my daughter." So DBL Nation, we want to know, if you were Felicity Huffman's daughter, would you be able to forgive your mom?
Well, Lynn from Facebook or YouTube says, "I feel that the students should be seeking forgiveness too. How could the whole family not have known? If the kids didn't know, it speaks to how uninvolved they were in their own college admissions." Lynn, I think you are 100% spot on. But let's assume that the daughter didn't know, as the mother is saying that she betrayed her daughter. I think that the daughter has definitely benefited from a lot of advocacy and a lot of privilege because of who her mother is. And moms are just people. Who happen to have children. So of course they're going to make mistakes. Granted, this is a tremendous violation, but you have to forgive her because of course it goes both ways.
David from Facebook says, "I would forgive my parents even if they made a mess of my college admissions. Felicity's intention was to look out for her daughter despite poor judgment." David, I completely agree with you. We all make mistakes, and I'm in my life, and I'm 37, and I'm living up to them right now. I'm taking a lot more responsibility for my mistakes. We all make them. We're human, as Erica said, and the intent was not malicious. I know it was corrupt, but it wasn't against her daughter in any violent way. It was only to help. She did it wrong, but we got to move on and learn.
All right, Ron from Facebook says, "I don't know how I could completely forgive Felicity Huffman. If I were her child, I would resent my parents if they didn't believe in me." You know what, Ron? I think we're missing a perfect opportunity right now. Look, your parents feel really bad. Take advantage. Guess what, guys? Not going to college. Where's the couch? I'm sleeping in forever. You have a 50-year-old, 20-year-old for the rest of your life. Yeah, and I like my waffles Belgium. So do it like that. Take advantage.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Brendan from Facebook says, "You must be able to forgive, otherwise you will never be able to move on. Even when you forgive, you never forget." I think you got to forgive and forget in this instance. I can't think of a scenario where I would never not forgive my mother for doing something. And being a father of 2 young boys, I'm going to make plenty of mistakes along the way, and I hope they forgive me. Like Tori said, it wasn't malicious. It comes from a place of love. I don't agree with it, but I see they're trying to do better for their kids, and that's all anybody wants.
That's right.
Yep.
All right, guys, thank you so much for your comments. Let's move on. 2 stars from, ooh, I love this story. 2 stars from an 80s classic just confirmed a sequel in the works. Raquel, you got to give us the news at the moment.
That's right, Jeff. It's official. A second installment of Coming to America is in production right now with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall coming back together again. And we have your very first look. Well, kinda. Famed costume designer Ruthie Carter just posted pictures with the stars. They're all holding the Oscar she won for Black Panther, and the original Coming to America was nominated for Best Costume Design back in 1988. Looks like they're hoping to win this time. The sequel is set to be released next year.
Ooh, Jeff. Top 5, Al.
We have to go together. I mean, this is my child. I think there was a period definitely where I knew every single line of this movie.
I'm pretty sure I might still know them, but
yeah,
I don't know. You think this might ruin the movie anyway?
I'm so scared.
I know,
I'm scared.
No, look,
I just don't want to get a next Friday situation on our hands.
No, but they remade Stephen King's It. That was good.
Yeah, but it wasn't Coming to America to begin with.
That's true. That's a good one.
There we go. Coming up on DBL, actress Emilia Clarke admits to a very bad first day of Game of Thrones filming. You'll wonder how she came back. Lots of adorable new spring fashions, but which ones look the best on you? My wife Jordan is taking you shopping to find the best looks for everybody. Did it work again? No. That's next.
Mood is light and cheery, though Tori has her head down on the desk right now. But I'm talking everything money. So as you know, through the decades, inflation has occurred and the cost of living has increased throughout the United States. And so Bank of America is taking initiative, and they're going to raise their minimum wage for over 200,000 employees to $20. Now, if you remember, 2 years ago, Bank of America made waves when they originally raised their minimum wage to $15. And now, hopefully, the plan is by 2021, the minimum wage at Bank of America will be over $20. And personally, I'm a huge fan of that. Thank you, Bank of America, for taking that initiative, because the cost of living is increasing pretty rapidly in the United States. And also, Bank of America is actually not the first bank to be raising their minimum wage. JP Morgan Chase, within the last few months, they announced they were going to raise their minimum wage to $18 for 22,000 of their employees. And they confirmed that for employees in Washington State, they are committed to definitely raising it to 18. Now, the 22,000 employees for JP Morgan that I mentioned, not all of them will get raised to $18, but all of them will get a raise from the $15. So, yeah, let me know what you think about the cost of living in the United States and where you live and what cities you think have the highest cost of living. Thanks so much, guys. See ya.
Welcome back to DBL. My wife Jordan has been very open about how hard it is to find clothes that fit after having our second child, Lawson.
Layton.
That's our first one. I get him screwed up every time.
It's okay, I got it. Jordan,
Thanks, buddy.
Jordan looks gorgeous at any weight, of course you do, but we wanted to pamper her, so we sent her to Denver Darling Boutique here in Denver to find some fun spring styles that flatter her and every body type.
I told her that's what the 2 L's are going to happen.
Layton Lawson.
Hey, I'm so happy you're here. I need your help. I've been living in these yoga pants, and I want to look cute for spring, and I want to look cute for date nights. Get me out of my yoga stuff.
All right, I've got the perfect stuff for you. Okay, this is the first look. I love it. I picked this because you were looking for something for all body types and ages, and
to hide my stomach area because I have a little pooch because I had the baby.
And polka dots are so back for spring.
It hides everything, and I also love that it covers my legs too.
Beautiful.
And I can wear it with wedges and The pockets are my jam.
Here's our second look. I think this is a really great, like, updated athleisure, like, great update to your leggings.
I love it because it's comfortable. I feel like I can move in it with the boys. I can wear my tennis shoes with it. I feel like I could dress it up. And you know, I've told you this bottom area really bothers me, and I don't feel self-conscious in it.
Well, and don't you think it'd be great for the plane? Like, you could just throw on your tennis shoes, or you could dress it up, maybe with a leather jacket.
Okay.
Try this one on.
Oh, I love leather
Maybe
jacket.
just throw it over your shoulders. Layering for spring is huge.
Yes, because the weather here in Denver, it's hot and then it's cold, but this would be a great date night outfit for me.
It just adds another element and then it dresses up.
I love it. Thank you, Abby. I feel pretty.
What do you think of this look?
I love it because I always go with navy blue, black, neutral colors, and this actually is a pop of color.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun, like, bright dress that's good for a cocktail party, and a nice, like, shift that's good for, like, all kinds of body types, especially a new mom.
Yes, and it's not, I like that it's loose here, and it's not super hugging around here or up top. It feels good.
This is a great dress for women of all ages that might, like, be uncomfortable with any kind of body issues.
You know I'll be back.
See you soon.
Bye.
You look amazing, Jordan.
Yeah, she looked great. And Layton is 7 months now, and Jordan's crushing the gym, and she looks fantastic. Great segment.
You were supposed to say, we'll be right back.
No, that's you. It says
no,
Sam.
It says, oh, he's right.
Promotional consideration.
So, hey guys, hey. Hey. So, I just want to tell you something really funny. Okay, hold on, ready? Okay. There's this meme going around, this woman, Just Sally, and on Twitter, she's known as Mustard Sally 1. She goes, I just waved to a man. I waved to a man because I thought he waved at me. Yeah, apparently, he was waving to another woman. So to get out of the awkward situation, I kept my hand up, and a taxi pulled over. It drove me to the airport, and I am now in Poland starting a new life. I hate when you wave and it's not waving at you. So do you guys ever do, what do you do first off? And what I do is this. I'm so excited about life. You know what I mean? You just kind of like make it a thing. But we were talking about awkward moments and what kind of awkward moments you have. The other one is the walking trip one where people just like jog for like a couple seconds. That's just the most awkward thing you could ever do. So the other one is when you don't know someone's name and you ask them and they tell you, and you're supposed to ask them how to spell it because that can help you. And Ellen says she did it once, Ellen DeGeneres, and they were like, K-I-M, Kim. And she's like, oh yeah. So as you can see, I'm trying to get off of coffee and it's late in the day and I haven't had a lot, and this is what you get. This is undecaffeinated Tori.
You know what else is awkward? When you do like a handshake that you don't really know,
like if they're going in for the hug or not.
Well, like there's this one when I came to Colorado. It's like, you know, you give.
Hold on, let me do this.
There's like one in Colorado where it's like, you know, I just do that, you know. Yeah. But here they do this.
Oh yeah, you don't know which one you're doing.
And the first time I was like this, and then they did that, and I was like, what's this? Like, what are we doing? We're doing that now too.
You need to know each state's
right. So.
And you know what's worse, John, is I do this. And then I always go, and no one does that. No one. Or I like.
Or you pull off and then you snap.
Or go in for this hug and they're not going in for this hug.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It needs to be like a guy.
Somebody just tell me what's going on. Anyway, let me know how you guys survived getting off of coffee.
Welcome back to DBL. Every week, our friend Roman shows us a new dog up for adoption. But DBL Nation, we're getting word back that some of these dogs are still in shelters. So today, do me a favor, do everybody in the DBL Nation a favor, and see if you can help us find today's featured pup a forever home. Meet Ziva in this week's Roman Rescues.
Hi everyone, this is my friend Ziva here, and she's 4 years old and has been in and out of the shelter since 2016.
That's 3 years.
Yeah.
That is so sad. Ziva is unfortunately heartworm positive. She used to really play well with the other dogs, they said, but now what?
Now she's dog aggressive.
So she's got to be an only dog.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Well, I can tell you that Ziva is very sweet.
Yeah.
And she's a little bit of a jumper.
Yeah. She needs some manners still.
She may need some manners. Please adopt her. She needs it.
Ziva. Hey, girl.
She's doing on her bone.
All right, what do you say?
Thank you. Bye.
No, Roman, thank you. If you're leaving us now, you can still catch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Here's what's coming up next on DBL.
All new developments in the sex cult shocker that rocked Hollywood. We'll tell you how much time a former TV star is facing behind bars. Then, mystery solved. Vogue editor Anna Wintour reveals the real reason she's always hiding behind those iconic shades. And wedding day red flags from the people who know, wedding photographers. The small signs that could spell marriage trouble down the road when DBL comes back.
Some big movie news. The new Joker trailer is here, plus Avengers Endgame is breaking records. But bad news for GameStop. Could they be going under? That's all next in The Jump Off. I'm Abby and welcome to The Jump Off. I'm here to bring you all the latest news in gaming, tech, and nerd culture. So let's get started right now. We have our very first look at the new Joker movie starring Joaquin Phoenix. The movie is expected to show us how Batman's biggest rival became evil. The internet just can't get enough of this new trailer. It's been trending high on YouTube all week. The movie comes out in October, and while it's not your usual superhero film, I can't wait to see what Joaquin Phoenix does with the role. And speaking of superheroes, Avengers Endgame basically broke the internet. There were so many people trying to buy pre-sale tickets when they went on sale, many websites crashed, like AMC, Fandango, Regal Cinemas, and Atom Tickets. They all reported having issues. Avengers Endgame broke pre-sale records in just 6 hours. If you're lucky enough to get a ticket, Avengers Endgame hits theaters April 26th. And is GameStop going under? It's one of the biggest video game retailers, but it just reported its worst annual performance in decades. This could be because of downloadable games. People just don't need to go into an actual store anymore. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I go to Amazon rather than checking out 10 different stores. So I don't blame you. That's it for The Jump Off. As always, I'll be here every week with the latest in gaming, tech, and nerd culture news. I'll see you next time. I didn't do any waving.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You think this hair just naturally stays like this?
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. We're live and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. Let's get to it, guys. There's a major break in the NXIVM's sex cults case. That was a mouthful.
Yeah, you got it though. Good job, Jeff.
You may have heard about it because actress Allison Mack was arrested in 2008. Yesterday, she pled guilty to racketeering charges related to a cult that pretends to empower women. But it allegedly blackmails them into being sex slaves. Wow. You may recognize Allison from from the show Smallville. She was initially arrested on human trafficking charges. The group was founded by Keith Raniere. His trial is supposed to start later this month, and Allison faces up to 20 years in prison when she's sentenced in September. This is a crazy story.
Because I feel like you just made it up in the dream.
Like when I was reading it, I couldn't believe it.
It's hard to believe, but you know, it kind of isn't, Erica. All these cults, they're all different on the outside. Some of them have a religious theme. Some of them are like, oh, I'm the second coming of Jesus Christ. Some of them are, I'm an alien. But they all boil it down to, I need to have sex with all the women in the cult. So that's all this is, and it's a way to abuse and sexually rape and assault women and or children or both. So I think that there needs to be we need to do more about these cults, because the documentary I just saw called Wild Wild Country. I don't know if you saw that. Stu, our friend here, I can't remember his title. Dang it.
Our friend.
Production manager.
Production manager.
Stu, he's a guy they let into the building.
He's a pal.
No, but you know, he told me to watch it, and again, it just all comes down to sex, and this is what we're talking about, and just recruiting more and more people.
Yeah, she said, I read a little into this, and they said they'd find pictures and videos of these women who are vulnerable and then blackmail them and say, if you don't join and recruit, then we're going to expose you. Not only that, once you're recruited, you're supposed to have sex with this man and get branded his initials into your skin. So it was incredibly dangerous, a pyramid scheme of rape, basically.
Right.
You know, I just want people to really listen to the story, and if you don't know more about it, read into it, because for people to think this is so crazy for someone to fall victim,
it's not.
It clearly isn't. And I think it's a really, it's a product of, and we're seeing more and more people coming forward saying that I am a survivor, I was victimized in this way, because I think that people who do this know what to look for, what kind of character
They say find the vulnerable. Yeah.
Right, and some people may not have been vulnerable their entire lives. Let me tell you, the craziness that came into my life when I was down and out with like divorce, bankruptcy, unemployment, had I not had the foundation that I had, God only knows what I would have been susceptible to. So I think that we all should just acknowledge that people have a fundamental need to be acknowledged, and that there are people always out there ready to exploit that. So just help each other out.
Yeah, I watched the interview with Allison and Keith. It's like an hour and a half. She interviews him, and she's so enamored by him.
Bizarre.
It's like, is it like a weird case of Stockholm syndrome in some aspects?
Very much so.
I think it's a classic case, not a weird case, a classic case.
I mean, I just watched 5 minutes. I'm like, I got
you've had enough.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, a story that's a little more my speed here. We can't stop talking about Game of Thrones, and neither can you, DBL Nation. Right now, GOT actress Emilia Clarke is getting real about playing Daenerys on the show. It was her first job when she was 22. Nice first job. And here's what she said about her first day on the job.
Oh my God, I fell off a horse. And I remember just hanging on for dear, I mean, literally, I'm like hanging on like this, and I'm hanging on for dear life, and I just remember shouting, please stop filming, and I just cried. So that was my first day on Game of Thrones.
We feel you, Daenerys. So let's see our first day on the job right here at DBL.
All this sign needs is a ba-dum-ching, and is this thing on. But don't worry, the sign will be here all week. Back to you guys.
Judi Dench is rapping with rapper Lethal Bizzle. They collaborate on a few tracks, dropping some bars. You want to see what they do?
I have to see it. Let's
drop
it up there. Because it's creepy and freaky, which were my nicknames in high school.
Final vote is 52%. We're losing phones here. Am I on? Am I on? I'm not on. That is embarrassing.
That was rough.
No, I think you came off looking great.
We all have a good chuckle.
Erica, I remember that first day because, I remember you telling me, because I was so nervous because we had to make our IFBs, and in order to make it fit into your ear, it comes as a liquid that solidifies in your ear. And I was like, is there a way that this could become a liquid and then a solid in my ear canal? They were like, no. And then 2 hours later, I was at urgent care on Broadway, getting that blasted out of my ear. Yes, that was Erica. I'm gonna send you a bill for that.
Yeah, I might have to actually pay that bill, because I looked at you like, yeah, they're just going to give us something to put in our ears and it's going to hurt us. And then like 2 hours later, I was like,
it was weird. And the thing is, I was so sure that it was going to be fine that even though my hearing was going away, I was like, I'm just leaning my head at a weird angle. It's going to be fine. Erica said it's cool.
I was all, it's kind kind of windy.
Didn't you have like, weren't you like unbalanced and stuff?
It wasn't. It just feels like somebody's got earmuffs over you. But the thing is that pressure thing that they use, that's not like really scientific. They blast it out of your ear, and because of that, obviously all of the things that control your balance and your equilibrium in your ear. So they tell you like don't even sit up for a while, and then once you sit up, they make you sit up for like 10 minutes because you're like a little wobbly. Yeah, it was
much like our first day.
Yes.
A little wobbly.
To be honest, I was wearing the same jacket.
Yeah. I think I was wearing the exact same jacket.
No, you weren't.
I think so. Was it green?
Can we run that clip again?
That's
this is double embarrassing.
I don't know.
All right, we're gonna wait for this because if me and Al are both wearing,
we love our.
Oh, good. We get to see my eyebrows again. Great.
Those eyebrows are. Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, in bold and
what's up the microphone?
I know.
Al, is that your jacket?
Are you both wearing the same thing?
I think that might be my same jacket.
I'm just impressed that both of you still fit your jackets because I don't fit what I was wearing.
That's crazy.
Is that the same?
That was not planned at all. That was the first time I saw that.
That's weird.
Wow.
That's weird. Just be grateful.
I guess you're right. I guess you're right.
I'm grateful I'm not blonde with those eyebrows anymore.
I think we're grateful for
I do love
I
love your season 2 hair, Tori.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Cobb.
All right, guys. Vogue editor Anna Wintour is a fashion icon, and she looks crazy in those sunglasses.
Yes,
I'm just kidding.
thank you,
and she always wears iconic sunglasses. She's finally telling CNN why. Let's watch.
They're incredibly useful because you avoid people knowing what you're thinking about. They help me when I'm feeling a bit tired or sleepy, and I don't know, maybe they've just become a crutch and part of who I am, but today I really did need them.
All right.
She had eye surgery, so that's why she actually...
Stop making excuses.
But that's rare. She wears
Was she getting it every day?
No, but here's the deal. Steph Jones, our fashionista resident, and Britt said she's very famous because when she watches a collection, the designers show it early to Anna Wintour, she wears the glasses so they can't tell if she's liked the collection or not. So that's sort of why she started wearing it, and then it became a signature, like a Karl Lagerfeld or a...
But it looks a little crazy. Am I right?
I love it.
No man can get away with sunglasses inside, Erica. No man.
Well, I am can.
No, he can't.
Stevie Wonder can. That's it.
There's a couple who can. But I do understand what Tori's saying, and honestly, with Devil Wears Prada, everybody kind of got that gist. But during a CNN interview,
I know. But she had just had eye surgery, and that's some bright lights.
What are you, when you have a medical excuse why you're wearing sunglasses inside, that's okay. When you don't, that's not okay.
It is okay when you're Anna Wintour. You know,
all right. It's not. She's wearing a Tetris.
When we hang out this Friday, I'm wearing my sunglasses inside all day.
See, who's got better fashion? Me and Al found on day one what jacket works for us, and we've worn it every day since.
It's never changed.
It's never changing. It's our uniform.
Oh, man.
All right, guys. Singer John Legend admits he didn't know how to swim, and now he's learning from the best. Olympic gold medalist Ryan Lochte gave him lessons. Let's check it out.
Go. All right, we're gonna swim back. Ready? Go.
How was that? Was that awesome?
I made the team.
Aww.
I like it.
That's fantastic.
Conquering one of his fears.
Why wouldn't you?
Erica, you're about to start you want to learn to swim, right? It's coming. You said you were talking to Sammy?
Yeah, Sam is going to help me with my swimming skills.
Yes.
Yeah, I've taken swimming lessons a few times throughout my life, and I can keep from drowning, but I'm definitely not a swimmer.
Okay. Well, you referred to them as swimming skills, so I knew that wasn't kind of dancing around a little bit.
Do you get the strokes in, or is it more of a doggy paddle?
Oh, I'll do the strokes.
Oh, that's good.
I do a combination of whatever works until I get tired. So when I do this, I get tired, and then I'll doggy paddle, and then I'll go on my back.
Oh, so you're fine in there.
What do you call it,
Jeff? That didn't sound great.
I thought it was all right.
What do you call what Al did when we had the race? What was that move? When he just jumped in and started walking?
I just started walking. I was like, oh, I can put my feet down. This race is over.
I love it.
We don't want to relive that.
Oh, thanks, Boo.
Hey, I was off to a good start.
You were good.
The first 10
panicked.
feet.
I think you panicked.
No, then I didn't know how to put. I didn't have goggles.
And then this is Al.
I look like a retired lifeguard.
Here he goes. I'm going to try swimming. And then
I don't think if me and Al had a jet
to get rid of that stereotype, Al. And here we go.
To walking.
Yeah. There.
So what was you were water
nice haircut.
and what were you?
I was the starfish.
The starfish.
Yes.
Okay.
We're working on our skills.
Yeah, we're coming
bringing
back.
in Ryan Lochte.
We're working on our swimming skills.
There's nothing wrong with working on your swimming skills.
Yes. All right, we're going to move on. Let's get this last story in. Do you know Hugh Jackman is a world record holder? That's one of my goals. He holds the records for the longest career as a Marvel superhero as Wolverine, but there's another record he wanted to break on The Tonight Show. Let's take a look.
At one point, we were trying to catch coins off our elbow. The record is like 194 or something.
Why don't you get out of the way? Oh, do you want to do it at the same time? But what if it goes awry? Oh! Oh, no.
So now we're going to try that out, the little quarter on the elbow thing. I've been doing it for a long time. But have you ever tried this?
I tried it earlier. It didn't go well.
I can't believe no one's ever done this when they were kids.
You got this.
Because if I were playing with money when I was a kid, I probably wouldn't be sitting at this table.
Yeah, but you use pennies.
Roosevelt.
We updated.
You don't play with money. Big Mama would have had me. Okay, let's see.
All right, I'm taking
Here we go, Cobb. Come on.
That was a little bit of a bump set spike. You threw it up with your elbow and then caught it.
What am I supposed to do?
You catch it on the downswing.
All right, I'm going in.
Big Jeff says he's been crushing at this for his whole life.
I'm gonna show off and do $2, but I might drop it. I might drop it.
Here we go. Drum roll.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I'm gonna do $1.50.
$1.50. Now we've gotten down.
Ready?
Oh!
Now can I try more? You want to try it?
That's impressive.
Okay.
Jeff, I think you're missing your calling. You're good at this.
I wonder what the record is.
You might be the LeBron of this.
On the streets with quarters?
Yes.
Hey, if it's a world record,
or don't bang your arm. Yes.
Marvelous.
Yes.
Marvelous.
All right. And then, you know,
so now in 2 years, we're going to look back to this day and be like, what were we thinking?
Because once you guys break Guinness Book of World Records, I hosted a show for the Guinness Book of World Records for the BBC for 8 seasons, did 100 episodes. I saw a ton of records being. That was the woman with the world's longest tongue.
Ooh.
Wow. World's longest nails. Yes.
Oh. Was that weird?
And that was very strange, Jeff. That's me with the world's largest athlete, Manny Yarborough. Yeah. That's me with the world's largest pizza.
Was Manny there for that too?
No, he should have been. We could have knocked out 2 records at once.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun, but I mean, I honestly realized how seriously people take it because I kind of took this gig. You know, we've done gigs forever, so you just go, oh, fun little job. But these people take this seriously. They train for years, and when they get it, like you're so excited for them, like you like jump into each other's arms. It's very emotional.
Someone just won for putting 13 people into a bubble. Like they put they blew a bubble and put them in it.
Wow.
13 people.
That's a big bubble. Maybe we should try for 14.
Idea
or maybe we should just go to break. We'll be right back.
Best feet.
He goes, our friend Stu over there.
I go.
And he goes, I forgot his job title.
All right.
We are live.
So here's the deal, Stu, come on up here.
Really?
This is what happened. Let's just do a little replay here.
Sure.
Al was trying to give a shout out to Stu, and instead of saying Stu, our production manager, he said Stu, then a blank, and then just said our friend.
Is that not true? Look, I appreciate that.
Our friend Stu.
How many did you try? Do we just throw quarters at people?
Yeah, we're trying to get.
No, I appreciate that. We are friends.
We are friends.
We are friends.
But he is the production manager.
Friends first and production manager second.
Yes, and also, first of all, this is. I just got back from skiing.
Yeah, what is that? It looks great.
Oh, I got a little color this
You look
weekend.
fantastic.
Get ready to ski because Arash has told me there's a blizzard warning tomorrow.
Oh, there is.
Wait,
It's official.
A blizzard?
A bomb cyclone.
Yeah.
Again.
So guys, if you don't know, it's 80 degrees outside right now. I just spent my lunch outdoors playing with dogs, and it's 80 degrees out. So now it's going to be blizzard. Blizzard tomorrow.
Stu's gonna ski to work.
I'm hoping.
Fingers crossed. Do you guys miss DQ blizzards?
Just thinking about that.
You don't have to miss them. They're still around.
I know. I never think to stop at DQ unless they're after a Little League game.
Did anyone get Frosties and then mix it with the thing, or is it always broken?
Have you ever seen people that dip their fries in their Frosty?
That's what I do.
Oh, really?
It's just,
well, I guess it is
it's
salt
and
sweet.
It's great.
I don't like that.
Hot and cold, hot and cold.
I think the hot and cold would bother me more.
I don't like that.
Because I
Guys, write in if
do
you
like
do
chocolate covered pretzels?
Yeah.
Sweet and salty.
Yeah. But I don't know. I saw people doing that. It's not like
I don't think it'd be my jam either.
That guy is not my kind of guy.
I don't even like. I love peanuts and I love Chinese food, but I don't like peanuts in my Chinese food.
Completely agree. I think you know what? I think the logic behind that is peanut is a dominant taste. So like if you're eating like noodles that have been marinated and all this, and then just
get a peanut.
Too much.
Who dropped a peanut in here?
Yeah, it's like drinking a cup of coffee while you're eating something like.
Welcome back to DBL. It's almost wedding season and people are tying the knot. That's what they do in wedding season. But it isn't always marital bliss. Almost half of the marriages end in divorce or separation. But are there clues to watch for when people stay together? Wedding photographers say yes, and they're posting their red flags on Reddit. You want to check them out?
Yes.
All right, let's see if these any of these fit you guys. I hope not. By far the most common story from the Reddit feed is cake smashing. You know, when they take cake and they smash it in someone's face. I'm glad we had explained that.
Wait, slow down, buddy.
Back it up, back it up. If one smears cake in the other's face and it's not something either of them discussed, let alone wanted, some photographers say it's a dead giveaway that the marriage is doomed.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know if I would like that. It's not silly. It's not romantic. If I was at either one of your weddings, if Brooks or Anthony or Jordan smashed cake in your face, I wouldn't feel. I'd be like, why did they do? Well, they both look really nice today. Why'd they do that?
And also when it's aggressive, you can tell when someone's like, ha, 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 yeah. You're like, whoa, dude. I had chocolate cake and I was wearing white, and
you'd smashed it.
We smashed it, but we had told each other,
right?
And it was gentle.
But was it more like a love smash?
It was a love smash.
Yeah,
it was great.
See, that's fine if you had that conversation, but as a guest,
I got it.
It makes me feel so uncomfortable because I think putting something in anyone's face is like one of the biggest forms of disrespect.
It's very disrespectful.
And so when I see it, and especially when it seems as though one party didn't know, it just like that's.
Can I ask
for me?
You, Erica, you, Tori, you guys obviously both had weddings. Did you think the garter ceremony is weird? I always thought that's weird.
It is super weird, but I love doing mine. I'll be super honest.
That's super honest. Yeah.
It was super weird because my dad's there.
Like Roosevelt's there, and like Anthony's head's under your dress.
The first wedding I did it. The second wedding I didn't do it.
Yeah. Was there a reason to the first time you were like, I don't like this?
The second wedding I just forgot the garter.
Oh.
Which I'm sorry, Anthony. But honestly, when I forgot it, initially I think he was a little disappointed, and then when it came time to it, he was like, I'm glad that we're not doing that. So
it sounds like a good idea till your aunt is there, and you're like, all right, now I'm gonna reach up your dress with my hand. It's
Uncle
weird.
Gary.
A lot of that's
Uncle Gary, yeah.
All right, let's get another one in. Here's another red flag. That Uncle Gary. Flirty behavior. One wedding photographer said that during the ceremony, the groom kept winking at her and her assistant, and she said it wasn't winking because he was tearing up. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? Want to show us what that looks like?
Get you my drip? Yeah. Explain to the viewers, Tori, what we're talking about. What kind of wink?
Yeah, look, this is a...
You have terrible winking skills.
Is that really how you wink? Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Tori, that's not the move.
What do you mean?
Well, it's so hard. It's like
how do you wink? Let's see Al wink. Let's do a camera.
Al's got a good one.
That was weird.
That was good.
No, that looked
no,
like
yours is like, get it?
Okay, ready? Okay, let me look at the camera too. Okay, ready? Camera two, ready?
Don't do it so hard.
Okay, hold on.
Don't try so hard. Hold on, wait for a zoom in.
Okay, hold on.
Just natural. Oh, hey there.
There we go.
Yeah, that was all right.
Jeff, real quick, Jeff, you do it.
You do camera one.
All right, I'll get it. You go close up. Ready? I'm just like.
Don't take a drink.
That's the beginning of like your 70s sitcom. It's just you like you put the mug there.
Jeff Schroeder.
Yeah. Thank God we don't have my video when I had to turn around.
Oh, believe me, Jeff.
That was the most embarrassing.
That was the first thing I thought about.
I just had flashbacks. Erica, right in time. You don't have to do a wink. You want to do
I wink all the time.
Let's see.
It's very natural.
Oh.
I hear the video.
Oh, that's just the music. We're getting out of here. Coming up, an amazing ad campaign that's getting all the love. You won't want to miss this sweet story next.
DBL Nation, it's Lex, and I'm here with the DBL Digital team, giving you guys more top trending stories during the breaks here at Daily Blast Live. It's always fun here. They're always having a super fun time here at Daily Blast Live. I can't wink, and I'm not even gonna put you guys through that. I can't wink. It's not good. I'm not doing it. Don't make me do it. I'm not. So I have a story. I have a story for you guys. Kind of serious. It's about this California Uber driver. He is currently in custody because he tried to rob the home of a former passenger that he had. He was dropping people off to the airport, decided, oh, these people are out of town, I'm assuming, allegedly. Decided these people are out of town, gonna go back to their homes that I just dropped them off to the airport from, and attempted to rob their homes. He allegedly wasn't able to get one of the homes. Their alarm system ended up going off and they were able to catch video of him, but another home on the street, that by the time their security went off, their home was completely ransacked. So he's in custody now. It's really, really scary to hear that this rideshare program is having so many issues. We just reported that story on the college student who got into the wrong car, thinking that it was her Uber. As a young woman, it's really scary. So DBL Nation, just be really, really careful. Always check where you're going and your driver, and just take those extra steps to be safe. Bye now.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's Heart Threads is all about spreading the love. Watch how one man's message is making waves across the nation. A billboard popping up across the country has one simple message: love. John Pogachar wanted to try a social experiment.
How can we put love out into the world just organically and see what happens?
He rented a billboard in Spokane, Washington, and just put the word love on it. When others saw it, more billboards suddenly appeared. That inspired Pogachar to put one up in Pittsburgh, near the scene of last year's deadly synagogue shooting.
I'm driving down the street and I see that and pause for a second to say, I need to be kinder to the people at work or kinder to my family at home. Then you know, it has done its job.
Someone took the message to Marshalltown, Iowa, where a tornado had touched down. 15 billboards have sprung up across the country. The love is spreading.
We're just in a world now that's just against stuff. And eventually we're going to have to replace that with what we're for. And it's only going to be this moment. It's only going to be love.
Let's just spread the love. We'll be right back.
Promotional.
That's a weird word. Maybe
so guys,
orange is the only one.
No, and purple, I thought.
I thought it was just orange.
Well, I'm crowdsourcing our new slogan and song for Lex on a Desk, and Kim just wrote in, Lex on a desk, Lex on a desk. She's got the info because she's Lex on a desk, and I love it. But I'm trying to come up with something that rhymes with desk, and I've hit a wall. I can't.
What you?
Grotesque.
Grotesque? It's little Lex.
Something about me, though, I'll say it. If you want something a little less grotesque, maybe we should go to Lex on a Desk.
That's pretty good.
I don't want to call myself grotesque.
Lex on a Desk.
Hate it, dear Lex.
Also,
we
should spitball that title a little bit.
Lex on a Desk?
Yeah.
Why?
Reagan-esque.
See something?
Yeah.
Oh, esque.
Statuesque. If you want to see someone, if you think I'm too statuesque, maybe we go to Lex on a Desk.
Now you're dissing her.
Oh, okay.
That's like if somebody was dehydrated in the desert. That's what they would say.
Did you hear Al? Sounds like you're dehydrated in the desert.
Like they're just putting words together. If you're statuesque and Lex is on a desk, so get
picturesque. Oh, if you want a new segment that's picturesque, wait till you see Lex on a Desk.
And then like a beautiful
getting better.
And then there's a rainbow.
No, here I got it.
Slides,
Lex,
and
I
then
got
she
it.
slides
Are you ready?
from the rainbow onto the
I got it. Tori, I got it.
What?
And it's a modern thing. Weirdo Flex by Lex. And she finds like weird flex. I like the weirdo flex.
It's Lex on a desk.
It's Lex
You're
on
going
a
off
desk.
brand.
What are you doing? We're trying to stick with Lex on a desk.
I don't like how she just rotated in her chair after she hated my ID.
Lex is so mean. One
Yes.
time she goes like this. I go, can you do a story? Yes, you are. And she goes, okay. I'm really excited for this next story. She's so cool.
Lex is
like
steady
that.
though.
Yeah.
She's a steady
she's
ship.
a steady ship. Also, guys, I've been getting my shoe game. I've been
of her
told
next door neighbor.
my shoe game needs to be upped out. And so I went to Lex and got new
You could
shoes.
say
And Abby,
Stevie
and I got
Wonder
cool
wears
new
glasses
Nikes.
inside.
Yeah.
Air Force One. I don't
What's
think
wrong
they're
with
real
that?
because they came wrapped in saran wrap.
No. That's
not a shot.
They came from Air
Lex
China.
or Lex?
Air China.
Brooke, when I said Stevie Wonder could wear glasses inside, Brooke goes,
What?
and I go, what? She goes, he's blind. I go, I know. That's why I can wear glasses inside.
Yeah. No, we threw
There's a
Bono in
perfect.
there too.
Can you show
There's a perfect
Brooke?
transition.
That's Brooke. Brooke wave. And then
Brooke?
Al.
Look
Al,
at Brooke.
tell what you
She's
think
got
Brooke looks like.
She's got to pick up from the airport at 4:30. Let's
Doesn't
her do
Brooke's
that.
hat looks like there used to be candy in there?
Looks like a Beatle group.
Yeah,
Because she mixes it with love and makes the world taste good.
See, I'll teach you to.
Yes, and anybody that knows, Brookie is our
Kim
radiant
says,
sunshine.
Kim asks, does best rhyme with desk?
That's not politically incorrect.
Wrap it up.
The best.
Done.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments, isn't that right, Al?
Well, Jeff, it's not comments, it's comment. We have one singular comment.
Oh.
It's from our girl Veronica, and she says, all that winking got me feeling some kind of way.
Okay, Veronica's been writing in lately
I
as
like
a little
that.
ending of the show, and I like it a lot.
She can just say my name. She don't have to throw it away.
Just you, Al?
Yeah, I think so.
Whose was the best? We can't judge.
Can we have...
Does David, our stage manager, want
David, you saw all the...
Yeah, who was the best winker, Dave?
Just point.
We have 6 seconds.
We have 6 seconds.
And dead air is always great.
Yes! Story? That's how we're going.
I'm out of here.
Best winker, I don't know.